Black student just got 2 lays in one day. Of course, for a lot of you, you're like, what the fuck? 2 lays in one day? Is that even possible? It's very, very possible. I'm going to show you the screenshot of it. Let's take a look. So here's the first screenshot. It's censored well enough so I cannot get in trouble for it. So 2 lays in one day. What the fuck? So here's the first one for the black student. This censored. I cannot get in trouble. So what's the second lay? It's in a different folder under Facebook, I believe. Right here. All right. Second lay. You're like, what the flying fuck? Like, yep. 2 lays, one day. So because there's 2 lays in one day for this black student, I want to start debunking this sort of numbers game. There's no such thing as a numbers game. So for the ones showing up, the black student just got 2 fucking lays in the one day. So that's his first one. Okay. And I'll show you a second one in a different folder. You're like, there's no way you can get 2 fucking lays in one day in Daygame with John Elite's system. Oh yeah, it's right here. Right here, motherfuckers. It's censored, so I cannot get in trouble. So let's begin to tell my truth. All right. So a lot of people believe that if they make 10,000 approaches or use volume, they'll automatically get a lay. But now I showed you the student, the screenshots. In case you missed it, has 2 lays in a row. He just got laid half an hour ago. So I just put together some clothing. My hair is messy. And let's talk about it. Let's look at the scoreboard. I've added a new name to the list, Justin Wayne. Justin Wayne only has 1 Asian laid testimonial, which an Asian guy got married. So congratulations, Justin Wayne. The rest of his testimonials are instructor level people, which is for his students and stuff. They're all instructor levels, except for, most of them are instructor levels. Does that really count? I don't know. But I think he has around 10. So I put only 1 Asian and 10 overall, most of which are instructors, except for that 1 Asian, that 1 token Asian. Yet my students are getting laid nonstop during COVID-19. So let's debunk this 10,000 approaches during Delta variant. But that student, I knew you were going to say that. Oh, the student is black or whatever bullshit. It's an excuse. My Middle Eastern student also got laid. And it doesn't matter what race. I'll get them fucking laid if you just follow my instructions. So listen very carefully how it's done. I don't want to hear your fucking excuses. By the time I'm done, I'm going to list 10 traits of loser mindsets. 10 loser mindsets. And you're going to find you're going to have all 10 of them. So stick around. Let's begin. So you want to get laid for Daygame during the Delta variant. And you realize it's not a numbers game if you did 10,000 approaches with strategies or game, as they call it, or volume, without going through Elite 30, you will not get laid. You're like, what? That's right. You will not get laid if you try to use strategy, tactics, and where they lie to you, especially self-proclaimed high lay count guy, saying, if you do like it's 95% of it is strategy and tactics. Yet most of their students that get laid are in Tinder. They're white. White is right. And now the whole screen is covered for their testimonials. We'll never figure out who the students are because they're all white. Not all white, but I would say most of them and a few ethnics. But here I am as a Daygame coach trying to get some of the students to listen to this playlist of mindsets that I have. I've given the black guy, he was the very first one to have my playlist of mindsets. So what is this playlist? It has 15 videos in it. It is to unlock your mindset. The thing is, at the time, I was dealing with these ADHD zombies who are autistic as fuck. I had so many students that are autistic and they're ADHD, and that's not very good for the Delta variant. And mind you, most dating coaches do not even have a single lay testimonial for COVID-19 for the Delta variant. Never mind even COVID-19, their courses do not work. They'll funnel you into a boot camp because it doesn't fucking work. Once again, my course keeps working and working and working and working. All right. The thing is, at the time, I was dealing with these ADHD zombies, but the big problem was that they believe if they make 10,000 approaches, more volume, a numbers game, they believe they are going to get laid. In their mind, they say to me, John, even though you kicked me out, right? I kicked out quite a few people from Elite Access because they were zombies, they're ADHD, they will not take action. You can see the mindsets are shit. I'll give you the list of the 10 mindsets that you want to avoid if you want results. They're only, they always believe they're just one approach away from that lay, or 100 approaches away, or 1,000 or 10,000. They believe that if they just have enough of a numbers game. Can we hear a sample of it? Yeah, sure. I'm not sure if okay, I have a lay video, and I also have like a video of her twerking. I'm not sure if it's legal to post because I don't know what's the contents in it. I just got it. Okay. Okay, he's playing rap music. He's grabbing her ass. He's slapping her ass. Okay, he's fingering her right now. Okay, good. She has a green like pants thing. Okay, let's see what's happening next. She's still dancing. Yeah, so so the video is here. So you can hear the slapping and I cannot show you the video, but it is part of the screenshots. So let's not get sidetracked here. I have a lot to say about this 10,000 to, yeah, so right here, green bikini thing. So that's one. And the second lay is somewhere else. Right here. So 2 in a row. Daygame. Read it and weep, motherfuckers. So it's not about volume. It's not about 10,000 approaches to a lay. I guarantee you, if you try to go out there with your old style of whatever, you will not get laid during Delta variant. Your old methods, your old, it's a volume game or it's a strategy and tactics. I hate to tell you this. I know people are dropping off, but I'm telling you guys the truth. My students have to go through a 3-step process: fashion change, mindset change, and habits. If you guys don't want to listen, that's too fucking bad. Drop off. But motherfuckers are listening to this, come back. So anyways, let's continue. That meant it was a total lie during the Delta variant, which got me to kick out 5 brainwashed ADHD zombies who thought they were enough. And you're like, oh, fuck. So you're saying that if you worship other dating... yeah, mathematically speaking, it will happen. If you... No, it will not happen. I'll explain why. During the Delta is a little bit different. Mathematically, it will happen before COVID-19, but not during Delta. Besides, I'm the only day game coach in the world with student results like this. 2 in a row. And then the Middle Eastern student got laid recently. And then the black student again. And it's just like me. I have all the student laid results. Why can't they get their first fucking COVID-19 product laid testimonial? Never mind Delta. Delta has been very, very contagious. Very contagious. I'll give you the big idea so you understand. The big idea behind COVID-19 is that it's like a stormy ocean. Okay? Imagine it's like I can draw it out, but I don't feel like it. It's like a stormy ocean, so everyone's mindset is really fucked up because it's hard to swim and float during COVID-19 for a day game because their mindsets are so damaged. Delta is putting all the unvaccinated into the hospital. Lots and lots of people, including pickup artists, as I've heard locally, have been in the hospital. So women are fearful. Before, the ocean will not be like this. You can just swim and move forward and eventually get that lay. You could have played a numbers game before. You could have just made 10,000 approaches, something will happen. But during Delta variant, because the water is so fucked up, a lot of these people, their mindsets are so shit because they're drowning. So it's not about the numbers game or value or height or race, because this student got no results before training with me. Now he got 2 lays in one day in a row, hours apart. He had no results. His mindsets were fucked. So I forced him to watch a playlist of these videos for mindsets. I sent it to all my students. And the ADHD zombies I kicked out, they did not watch the video. In fact, how many of them have gotten through all the videos? I kicked out 5 students from Elite Access. 5, it's like, okay, that's not fair, John. You should be more empathetic. You should be more compassionate during COVID-19. No, fuck you. If you don't want to actually apply what I'm teaching, you are out. Like the Squid Game. You get your fucking head shot off, metaphorically speaking. It's just how it is. There is no mercy here during COVID-19. This is why I start teaching these mindsets. So a playlist of 15 videos, a black student went through it all. All the students that went through the playlist are getting one lay after another. Do they get refunded? No, I just move them to the inner circle. So it's fine. They get the same value or they get another infield analysis. So they don't lose anything. But they ask me, can I please come back, John, to Elite Access? No, once I kick you out, you don't get to come back to that program. But they still got their money's worth. Now they can go at their own pace in the inner circle. They don't have to go fast. They can go as slow as they want and do their 10,000 approaches. So they didn't lose anything. They just sort of, it's kind of like they cannot handle the Navy SEALs. So we move them to the reserve unit of the Army. That's the funny thing, because a lot of my students that are Navy SEALs that already got laid over and over are in the inner circle. So now the old students are looking at the new students wondering, what the fuck? These fucking losers. And I'll tell you about the 10 mindset traits. So now that, they always believe if they had more game or more tactics or more charisma. That's what one Chinese guy said. But John, if I have more charisma, right, then I'll get laid. I was like, dude, you're talking like a fucking chink. Talking about charisma. Not to be racist, nothing. I'm Chinese myself. But you're talking like a fucking chink. Huh? Hey, excuse me. Yeah, I'm talking with you. I'm looking for a play called Zara. Oh, by the way, what the fuck? Charisma? He always believes that the more approaches he makes, it's like throwing a ball at the basketball hoop. Throwing a ball at the basketball hoop as hard as you can. Boom. And it bounces out. He's like, lay. Grab ball, lay. It's not going to happen like that. You need some skills. I thought you said that you wouldn't use that word. Oh, I'm sorry for using the word chink. That is the only way I can explain it. Hey, John, do you have tips on how to get out of the friend zone? If you're in the friend zone, right, you're fucked. So don't get in the friend zone in the first place. Start with Elite 30. Elite 30 is the only way you can get out of the friend zone and get the women into you. A 5'7" bald Middle Eastern student did that. He had a social circle. When he started practicing the habits, which I'll get into, then he got out of the friend zone and he fucked some of the women, like back to back. And then he got stabbed in the chest 3 times because he was about to bang a model. I told him not to. Her boyfriend's in jail. Well, regardless, let's continue. So if they had more game, more tactics, more charisma, there's no other way to explain it except for using that word that you don't like to hear. Because there was no other word I could have used to explain to that Chinese FOB student that he's really undesirable. You need social skills and social calibrations to get that 5 extra points, 20 out of 35. And by chance, something amazing happened. I create this John Elite obstacle course. The longer you take to get it done, the longer your lay would be pushed into the future. You're like, what? That's right. It's like a time machine. Don't you get it? By you following the 5 mindsets, I can calculate from how teachable you are, how changeable you are, how much skill do you have, how much believability do you have, and lastly, your thoughts and feelings for manifestation. I can literally predict when you're going to get laid. So when you start having shit mindsets, then what will happen is that you'll push off the lay. And grit actually works very, very closely with, but only because you didn't meet the right. That's bullshit. I'm trying to explain to you. Let me finish talking. So during the Delta variant, it's kind of like a stormy ocean. So for them, they have not been able to get their head above the water. They need the right skill set to do that. So they need to really work at the neural path. Does that make sense? So according to what I'm trying to say next is that there's a 3-step process to getting that lay during the Delta variant. And other companies will never be able to achieve this because they don't have the same formula. So the very first formula is to get the physical changes done, whether it's the fashion, the hairstyle. As you can see with this black student, he's already... So here's for the people that just showed up. The black student just banged 2 women in a row. It's number one, and his hairstyle change. And here's number two. Hold on a second. See, right here. So he got a hairstyle change. He's got the same version as all my students, and he banged two of them in a row. And you're like, what? In the same fucking day? Daygame. This is not night game. This is not Tinder. This is none of that bullshit. This is Daygame. And you can see that the winners keep winning. So he got his head above the water because he was making excuses, which is the second step. You need to stop making excuses, because during COVID-19, you're always going to feel like you're going to drown because the water is like all wavy and shit. And it's the highest waves we've ever seen. So once he got his head above the water, following my advice, the other students did not do it. Right? Height, he's not short. He's not short. So he's around 6 foot something, maybe 6'1". So yes, height does matter. Race does matter. Let's not pretend it doesn't. But I've gotten students of every single race, every single height laid. So you can't use that as an excuse, even during COVID. I've even got like 5'3" students laid too. So you can't say anything, you know, an Asian too, of all things. But let's continue. Okay. I don't have time to deal with your misconceptions because the people here gets it. So once you get your head above the water, you got to get your body floating too. Then you can swim forward. It's a skill thing, like basketball. You don't just throw the ball as hard as you can at the hoop. That's what all these students are doing, playing this numbers game. So let's debunk it. It's about grit. It's about grit. So instantly, it became crystal clear to me how to get them laid faster, since grit stands for growth. Do these losers that I kicked out, these students, can they listen to the coach in a boxing match? This is metaphorically speaking. Nope. So in the corner, I said, do this, do that, do that. They just ignore me. Resilience. How much can they take a punch? And the problem is that these motherfuckers can take a punch. These students can take a punch. That's the only thing they're good at. Because when they're zombies, or like RSD zombies, the only thing they can do is to have resilience, but they give up growth. The next one's instincts. Are they doing the best way, the best training, the best method? Volume's not helping. They're using their own zombie habits. So they're not using instinct and tenacity. How likely are they able to adapt and finish the fight in this boxing match, metaphorically speaking? They can't do it. They can't finish the fight because they're not using instincts and they have no growth mindset. They only got resilience. Don't you get it? This grit thing is from the Navy SEALs. It's like, John, why are you teaching Navy SEAL military stuff? That is not for civilian use. This is not a war, John. Well, try telling that to my brain, General John Elite. To me, this is a war. And this is your lives. So you better train up. So all this debunks the whole strategy and tactics. When other tall white dating coaches says, hey, you just need more strategy and more tactics. Well, they only have 3, for a self-proclaimed high lay count guy, 3 fucking lay testimonials for Daygame. 3. Todd V, 3. So why the fuck would they give you their advice? It's bullshit. If it's all strategies and all tactics, then why the fuck don't they have more than 3? Hey, they still got 2 lay testimonials for their products for COVID-19, so that's a good thing. 2. That means he's beaten out a lot of different coaches out there who claims they're the best or whatever. Yet at the same time, he beaten them, but that's not a lot. 3 in total. And the whole screen is covered. I can't see the faces. They're all white. Most of the students are white. White is right. So having said that, it's not strategy and tactics. If you want to, drop off, it's fine with me. But what I'm trying to say is that if it's all strategy and tactics, if this was a military war, imagine these guys, these you are enough people, or using new strategies and new tactics. It won't get easier. We're coming out of COVID, John. Well, I don't think Delta is going to completely end anytime soon. I think it might even last a long time because a lot of people do not want to get vaccinated. So you're going to have to learn how to day game during COVID with Elite 30 from hard case to hero. If you don't buy my products or the bundle right now, like, and beg me to train you, right? You have no fucking chance because this, like, back to back, I'm just posting one lay testimonial after another. You can worship all you want and keep their dicks in your mouth, right? Their whitewash, blackwash dicks in your mouth. But like sucking them off is not going to get you laid. Well, the vaccine has killed. Okay, let's not talk about that. That's not what we're trying to say here. The point is, yes, it has, but I'm neutral when it comes to this topic. But the Delta variant is not going to end very quickly. So you guys have to get used to this new method of Daygame. It's getting tougher. Physical changes, including haircut, all that shit, fashion, which the black student went through, the mindset changes. All my students are being sent on playlists that bought my products. And lastly is the habits, the 30-day challenge. That's the secret. So it depends how fast you implement things. It's called the speed of implementation. Since they have bad habits, ignoring Elite 30. So imagine if the other guy says that, oh, it's all, pay attention to John. Good afternoon. Hey, Marco, you are one of the students I kicked out. You should be paying attention, you hypocrite. You're one of the zombies that are ADHD as fuck. You had 4 lays under my training, Marco. 2 girlfriends at the same time. Do you wear a mask? Yes. But at the same time, some of the congruency in your body language, not just expressions. So why was he kick? I know it's not fair because I didn't want to kick him out, but he's no longer, he's too ADHD. But everyone now has a supplement to handle ADHD. Marco, I might consider creating like a Squid Game or Hunger Game where the 5 of the students that got kicked out to the inner circle, you guys can kill each other, fight each other until one of you, follows the obstacle course. Metaphorically speaking, murder each other until you climb to the top. Then you're welcome back. Maybe I should do something like that. Pit the students against each other in front of the inner circle. You have to go through the playlist. You have to go do this. You have to do 10 days of Elite 30, record it. But you know what? The problem with these 5 students is that they will not do it. They're too lazy. I think some of these students with ADHD and Delta variant does not mix. During the second lockdown, if you have autism, you cannot use the social skill flow drill. A lot of RSD victims quit. During the Delta variant, however, people with ADHD are fucked. So I tagged you, Marco, in the inner circle with the students with 2 lays in a row. You should have listened to me, but now I'm going to tell you what the formula is. So it's not strategy and tactics. It's not. Because imagine this is a war and you're just going out there. And the guy says, use this strategy, use that strategy. Self-proclaimed high leg count guy. If you use that strategy, okay? And that's the sad thing, Marco. I didn't want to kick you out. You already had 4 lays under my training and 2 girlfriends at the same fucking time. You're supposed to be a superstar, Marco. You couldn't even be arsed with it. Just the laziest fucking... You got the fucking ADHD supplements that work for all the other students. You have everything going, but except the motivation. You're not hungry because you still have one of the girlfriends under my training. I'm not saying you should dump her, but I'm just saying if you want to get to the next level, you got to find that hunger back. Let's make it into a Squid Game, Hunger Game in the inner circle. 5 of you students I kicked out. Kill each other until one of you get back in. The winner takes all. And whoever participates, if you fuck up and you fail, you get kicked out. What's up? As top secret, only my students know. I found a cure for ADHD without Adderall or Ritalin. It works. The students are able to focus, but he refuses to do the obstacle course. But let's continue talking about that. So it's not strategy and tactics, what self-proclaimed high leg count guy says. Because if it was strategy and tactics, let's say it was a weak soldier and he has shit mindsets and bad habits. If he goes to war with just strategy and tactics, he does not have the skills being built out. The social skills and social calibrations. Because these skills are not there. None of his students have that kind of skills. They just have strategies and tactics where they claim is 95% of it and 5% is your, physical changes. Don't be too fat. Don't be too skinny. Threshold bullshit. Yet my students all dress the same. They all have the same haircut. They all take the same supplements. And I've extracted the winners and losers out of this. And I'll tell you the 10 fucking mindsets of the losers. You guys are going to learn a lot. So let's get to this. So if you know strategy and tactics are not everything, and you got to build up the skills, and how do you build up the skills is the question. since they have bad habits, ignoring Elite 30 by playing a numbers game, where COVID-19 is a stormy ocean, they push their lay off like a time machine. While LMS is important, or SMV, of course, but don't forget, this tall black guy cannot even get laid at all before my training. I think confidence is more important than charisma. I don't think any of that shit's important. I think skills is more important. Let's debunk everything in this whole fucking industry because you guys been gaslighted and brainwashed. Let's break it all apart right now. Let's not waste time. While LMS is important, SMV, that's not the whole equation. It is drown or not drown. It's not compliance, non-compliant. It's drown, not drown. That is the real equation. With the mindsets, you can float. You can then swim towards the get laid faster during the Delta variant island with the skills from Elite 30. So the Delta variant has the highest waves. That's why you keep sinking whenever you do it your way. So their lack of skills plus women's fears during the Delta variant kills their results. And that's the problem, because they think that they are enough because they're brainwashed by all these other dating coaches with 3 fucking late testimonials for Daygame. I mean, seriously, I got 3 like right now. Just 2, 2 from this student today, and 1 last time, Middle Eastern, and he got another lay before. What the fuck? Okay, they think they are enough. That's so stupid. Tactics. They still have a mindset that they had before COVID-19, that it's almost like if there's no pandemic. Hold on a second. Okay. So the Indian student who was hey, do you know the student got 2 lays, not just 1? Let me send you the screenshot. Okay. Let me send you the screenshot right now. So this is my 5'5" Indian student. He was the guy who got laid under my training twice too, during Delta. He got laid twice. The second one, here it is. You see that? You were once upon a time, you were a self-proclaimed high lay count guy student, or are you not? Okay. Let me just call him then. So. Yo, do not give away any sort of personal information. I'm on YouTube Live. But you were formerly, right, self-proclaimed high lay count guy student, right?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, so basically, this black student just got 2 lays in a row. I'm on YouTube Live talking about it. And you got 2 lays in a row too, right? During Delta.
Yes, I did.
How important is that playlist of mindsets? Like, how important is it?
It's the most important thing.
Okay. So what does it do exactly? Like, what's happening during Delta for you guys, right? That's making you guys get results from this playlist. Like, what is the playlist about? But do not give them any information.
It changes your mindset, and it teaches you to have habits, because habits equals success.
Mm-hmm. What about excuses? I didn't want to put you on the spot here, but I thought, rather than telling you exactly what the next thing to do, right? This can be kind of cool.
Yeah, excuses is killing your chances of success.
Did you make a lot of excuses before?
Yes, I did.
You've heard about me wanting to kick out a bunch of students, right? You were also targeted because you're ADHD, right? But when you took this supplement, right, we cannot tell them what it is. Does it work?
Yes, it does.
So that means this is actually the cure for ADHD without Adderall or Ritalin.
Yes.
Okay. I think basically, what message do you want to say to the world? Because you're seeing now the student, the Middle Eastern student, right, during Delta. What do you have to say to the world? And because they're worshiping self-proclaimed high lay count guy, he always says, "Oh, it's all strategy and all tactics," right? And you, however, need to build up the skills. You're shorter. You're 5'5", right? Like, how the fuck is that tactics and all that? Tell them if that's true or not, and your opinion on it. I'm just curious. Like, tell them the world.
Yeah, those strategies that he teaches, it doesn't work. It didn't get me any results.
Okay.
And that was for a reason that you laid out.
Okay, so
and basically, I'm fighting an uphill battle because I'm shorter, so I'm at a disadvantage.
All right. How important is the skill set? You know, I put you all right through this obstacle course. You know that, right? It's not some bullshit thing. Physical changes, right? Hairstyle changes, fashion changes, mindset changes, and also doing the habits for a 30-day challenge. So,
Yes, you did.
can you tell them about that? Like, how would you were once like in the military, so you can handle these kind of mindsets when I yell at you or when I put you through drills and stuff, right? You can handle it. Can you talk about the grit? How important grit is, mental toughness? Because two of the students, right, that I'm teaching right now, did not kick out, Indian guys. Another Indian guy who lost his virginity, and you, right? You guys are both military. Okay, you don't have to tell them which branch you are unless you want to. They will never figure out who you are. But if you want to, if you don't want to, that's fine. We'll keep it a secret. But you're in the branch of military. He's also the students that are military, right? Can handle my training. Can you tell them about the grit? You know the 4 traits of grit, right? Does it work? Like, what is it? So
yes, basically it's being able to. It goes back to the 5 mindsets, and you need those 5 mindsets to succeed. And if you're not willing to basically grow and adapt techniques that work, you're not going to have any success, or it's going to be so much harder for you that you have to do, like you said, like so many approaches just to get a tiny bit of success.
Yeah, now I'm telling them, right? I'm telling them now that they can make 10,000 approaches, right? They're not going to get any results because they're going to drown during Delta. And you have, I'm just saying, is there any other day game coach in the world that got students laid there in Delta that you can recall, any of you in the world?
No, I can't think of anyone.
Yeah, me neither. Not even one.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm trying to look for it. I can't find it. Delta has been a real fuck up game changer. Like, that means you have to be tougher. So
yeah,
you can handle my training, right? You're not dropping off or getting scared or.
No, it's actually, motivating me. Like, that's why they yell in the military, because it forces you to change.
How come you can handle it while these thin-skin ADHD people cannot handle it?
I think it's just like what you said, thin versus thick skin. Okay. Being able to take a punch.
It's kind of like callousing your mind, right? It's just like doing a chin-ups, right? You get callous on your hands. For you have definitely calloused your mind a lot more than these people have. So they're in the military. I'm not sure really what to say, but I'm going to get back to the YouTube live. But for your next exercise, right? I want you to practice this see if you can do it for 5 minutes in a row and just talk about yourself and send me a video. Happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe. Okay? You have to maintain the things that are working right. Once we build this habit, we're going to work on the stops. So for all the elite access students who are still here, you'll be given like a mini sort of like, I'm not saying boot camp, but you get like a mini training. So that way all of you can have some basic, like the basics down, just like the army, like the pre-boot camp shit, or just something very simple, some stops, some openers, some insta-day stuff. It would just save me a lot of time. Indoctrination sequence. So, like military, right? They had to indoctrinate you first, right? With mindset upgrades first.
Yes.
I'm not totally 100% familiar, but when you first joined the military, did they start making you read their field manuals, textbooks, and stuff like that before you did the?
Yeah, everything. Training, physical, mental, tests, everything.
All right, cool. Anyways, I'll get back to it. I got a lot to teach these people. They don't really get it. They all believe it's a numbers game. Like, they really believe it's a numbers game, it's not a game of skill.
Yeah, until they experience it, they might not.
Okay, cool. Anyways, at least one guy gets it. If one guy gets it, then that's great. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. As soon as I'm done with YouTube Live, right? I'll be talking with you and training you. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You are one of the better students recently. I'm very proud of you. So
thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
Yep. All right, later.
Later.
All right, so yeah, he's one of the students that also got laid twice during Delta, back to back. Day number 9 of his training and day number 11. Do you guys see a pattern here? Physical changes, mindset changes, and habits. 30-day challenge. There's no other way. This is the only game in town that actually works. Or you can wait until Delta's over, but I don't think it'll be ever over for a long time. All right. So they still have a mindset before COVID-19, when there's no pandemic, no fear, that they can talk fast. And that's the problem. The reason why they sink is because they talk very fast. So it doesn't mean military give you status to women and stuff like that. He doesn't like use pictures or anything about the he doesn't use the status maxing of the military. And besides, he's only 5'5". He's like a short little Indian guy. Like, he's like shorter than me. I'm 5'7". He's like here. Hey John, how's it going? What? Like, what the fuck? You guys really short. So how's that gonna help you? Even if they knew. It's like, what the fuck? So before COVID-19, right? My white student, he got a girlfriend. And this is 2019. His looks is like 2.5 out of 10. You guys seen him before. Do I have to bring him back up here? I can do that. So for the white student, the thing was that this is before COVID-19. That's 2019. So yes, of course, that he was able to get laid. Let's see where his video was. I'm just going to speak the truth, guys. Like, I don't feel like... I'm not going to spin anything. I'm going to tell you guys the truth. You are not enough anymore during COVID-19. So here it is. Wifey lock-in process over here in the video. So for this guy, he got a girlfriend during Kaizen. Ugly white guy with no fucking chin either. See that? He's over there. That's his girlfriend. That was just his first thing that happened. And so it was the social, it was the social calibrations mostly. Before, I didn't need to teach as much social skills during the flow drill and stuff. Before that, right? Nothing happened at 2020. He joined another program called Elite 60. One student got married from it. Another student got engaged, made $2.2 million and fucked me over. And he, however, didn't get any results, but he built a good Instagram, a good lifestyle. But for him, he did like his 10,000 approaches after I kicked him out. He was resistant and full of excuses like these 5 students. He asked, hey, John, can I at least buy your Elite playbook? Sounds about white. Okay. But you're not getting the point here, because this is COVID at 2020. He was just using game. He was losing his skills from Kaizen. He was just using game tactics one after another. He could not close. So even though it was a miracle afterwards in 2021, he rejoined Kaizen. He changed his habits. And because he changed his habits, he banged a 21-year-old, 8.5 out of 10. And then afterwards, he bangs a 25-year-old, which is 7.6 out of 10. And she's quite pretty, too. She's Persian. The first one's white in Germany. 52-year-old man who's ugly as fuck. 0 looks. He's only 5'7", my height. He's here, bald, fat, ugly. You guys get the point? Are you guys getting it? That even if he was doing a fucking numbers game, it just wasn't enough. Of course, this happened, I believe, his lays maybe around like lockdown 3 or Delta or somewhere in between there. But regardless, that's still pretty good, because now during Delta it's harder. So basically, even if you have a decent strategy, right, without the skills to implement it, like the army drilling it down, the fundamental skills, then this only leads, this stupid mindset that you are enough, it's all strategy, only led to 3 lay testimonials for a self-proclaimed high lay count guy. 3. Just because they call it code approach doesn't mean they can lump night game shit with day game when they have no lay testimonials for it. That's so stupid. And Tinder testimonials does not count because they're all white except for a few ethnics. And the whole screen's covered. I can't see who the testimonials are anymore. this very clever. Now he cannot be criticized that all the students are white. He's hiding it, but it's fine. There's a few blacks here and a few Middle Easterns or one, and there's like, but that's it. Is height more important than face? Way more important. Way more important. If you're above 5'9", I can get the students laid faster than if he was like good looking and short. He would have to do more approaches. But if he was good looking and short, right, like a pretty boy Asian, more K-pop looking, then he'll get some models and shit and some really hot women. So, but in most cases, right, the height rather is more important than the face, because imagine you're wearing Jason mask, right? And you can only see my hairstyle, right? You can see my clothing. You can see my height. That's what the women sees. They cannot actually see your face. They cannot process it. It's not the biggest component to it. In fact, this guy is like, this old man is 52 years old. It's really, really ugly. We're talking about really ugly. He has no fucking chin, no jawline to look at. So, and a lot of the students, I think K-pop stars, think about, no, face is more important. Think about well, that's just pre-selection. It wasn't the face. It was just pre-selection, because the woman has to be into K-pop in order to like the Asian guy. That means she has to consume K-pop content. Otherwise, it's not going to work. All right, let's continue. Well, you could have been enough during lockdown 1, the first one. Right when it started, around January to March or January to the June. You could have been more than enough. A lot of my students got late there, especially Asians. But you will drown talking super fast, like a dragon, scorching her with fast speech. So what I'm saying is, for these ADHD fucks, not necessarily, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I don't give a fuck about your opinion, because you can believe whatever you want. I have the student results to prove it. I already have the data. You just speaking opinions as facts. I don't have time to deal with that. So basically, a lot of these guys are ADHD fucks. And no offense to Marco, but all of them, they talk super fast. So when they talk to women, they sound like they're a dragon scorching her. So they'll be like scorching her like a dragon on fire. That's the problem. Because this is how they talk. Like, excuse me real quick. I have a question. I was looking for a place called Zara. You know where I can find it? By the way, you look like somebody. You have a creative, artistic vibe. By the way, my name is whatever. What's your name? That's how they all talk. The faster you talk, the faster you get interrupted. Combine that with ADHD, all the zombies. And I'm going to get into the whole list, the 10 traits. And they all talk fast. So she's just reacting to stimuli. Her senses are seeing some little Asian guy or whatever the fuck, Latino guy, talking super fast. They have never made a single real approach yet talking super fast. Not even one. You're like, really? Not even one real fucking approach yet talking super fast. Because when they talk fast, they expect to be interrupted. So they spend 6 months, not Marco, but other people, just scorching the women like a fucking dragon with their fast cortisol talk. They have not even made one single real approach yet, because talking slower and slowing down your nervous system is day 2 of Elite 30. They have not even passed day 2 yet. So there's no amount of SMV or LMS that you can do if you're talking super fast. Like, the syllables are so close together. It sounds like RoboCop. You know when RoboCop shoots his gun? It sounds like this. Wait, hold on. That's how they talk like. They talk like RoboCop. The words are so close together. Excuse me. I just want to come by real quick. Well, they don't want to work on the habits because they're too ADHD and too lazy to work on it. And I really don't want to be like, insulting Marco here, because he's already got 4 lays under my training and 2 girlfriends. But I just can't believe that of all the people that you did not step up to the plate, you were just too lazy, too ADHD. You had the ADHD supplement, but you still refuse to do any changes. I can't believe I had to kick you motherfuckers to the inner circle. That's what makes me pissed off. There are some students I do not want to cut. All right, let's continue. I want to get through this as fast as possible. So for the people that are showing up here, let's show you some of the lay picks. All right, or the students' results. So here's the first one. This is his second lay. So he banged this woman, and I have the video of him fingering her in her green bikini. And the second one over here is, let's see, which is really cool, by the way. 2 lays in one day. But, it's my students, so what do you expect? They all went through the Johnny Lee obstacle course. Here's the second one. See that? It's all censored, so I can't get in trouble. 2 lays in one day in Daygame. He just used my text game. He just tells me what to text her, copy and paste it. Maybe in the future, I should make a YouTube live where I can show, like, go for lays, not girlfriends. Okay, the thing is that I can show you in the future all the pics of me telling the students what to text her. It's not like a 10% comes out bullshit stats. It's more like every single one of them comes out. And the only one that did not come out was one of the Chinese students who was a complete fucking zombie who believed it was charisma. Oh, yes, John. He keeps telling me bullshit, like excuses. Yes, John, I will start doing this right away. Next day, he doesn't do it. Oh, I forgot, John. I promise I'll do it today. I had to listen to 5 months of him. I already kicked him out once, but he begged to stay. He begged to stay, and I let him stay, and then gaslighted me with bullshit excuses. Yes, John, I'll do that. Yes, John. Yes, fuck you. And on top of everything, he really believes that if he makes 10,000 approaches, he'll get laid. He says, I don't know, John. I haven't tried it yet. Well, I say to the inner circle, the losers that I kicked out to the inner circle, I want you all to try that. Don't use that voice. Why not? Because that's how they think. They talk like this. They make excuses. And he's the only one, when I copy and paste the text, the women just don't respond. What the fuck? They respond to the 5'3" Asians, 5'4" Asians, but they don't respond to him. All right. So you're drying her pussy when you're talking fast as possible. It's like sand's coming out of her fucking vagina. And some got 0 results in Daygame before, but won't adapt to grit, especially the RSD victims. They had resilience to do the 10,000 approaches, but 0 growth. 0 instinct to do it the best way. So they can't use tenacity to finish the fight with their zombie habits. So my plan was that I kicked out 5 zombies from Elite Access. While the 5 students isn't a big deal because it's a drop in the bucket, most dating coaches don't even get student results from all their students. 5 is just very little to me. So it's almost linear when they use grit, or if they ignore grit, they do it their way. It's impossible for them to get laid because they can drown. You guys get it now? It's either lay or not lay. It's very much a 0-sum game. That means there is no like maybe or in between. There's no yellow. It's either red or green. Their mindsets are either winners or they're losers. So I start making a list of the loser traits. Let's get into it soon. Maybe this would be a good template to make a video from. Debunking them one by one, which might reach a lot more people with the same fucking loser ADHD autistic traits. Also, it's easier figuring out what to talk about, with those traits. But I didn't stop there. I then pinned the post in the inner circle calling them losers. The students I kicked out. After that, I educated the students that if you lack grit, I can score their mindsets, as the other Indian guy said, the 5'5" guy I just called, out of 50. So out of 10, how coachable are you? Most of them are like 0 or 1. How adaptable are you? Yes, John, I'm going to do exactly what you said. It's like, dude, you haven't even made a single adaptation. And whenever he wears the fashion, he tries to rip it off and just try to wear his own shit. This guy has no grit. How much skills do you have? That guy, yes, John, I'm talking super fast to a woman. That's how I talk to her. Excuse me real quick. I have a question. I was looking for that every fucking time. Fucking ADHD zombies. They talk super fast. Oh, excuse me. Every woman. Excuse me real quick. I have a question. Another woman, hey, hello, hello. Oh, I didn't know why I could not stay here. Your thoughts and feelings manifestation. You get your thoughts and feelings creates a manifestation. So that's why I'm trying to change the thinking pattern with the playlist. The supplements works. I just got promoted my job because it's more focused. Congratulations, Marco. Now you're making more money. But I just wish you would fucking do what I say, Marco. Come on. Come on, man. You're supposed to be a superstar. Come on, man. Do you want to earn your way back, into the program? You have to kill the other 4 students and do all the playlists and go through 10 days of Elite 30. I might create a contest, a Hunger Game or a Squid Game contest. Kill or be killed. Whoever kills everyone else, metaphorically speaking, gets to come back to Elite Access. Just 1 student. The rest, you can just go to hell. How much does money matter in getting a girlfriend? Not a lot. Not a lot. It's survival and replication value, but it's good to have a little bit of money to take care of your girlfriend. You're not being a simp that way. You want to take care of them too. You don't want to be such a deadbeat, fucking cheap piece of shit. Because women, when they want to marry a guy, they want to see if they can take care of the family. That's why it's important to have some kind of resources. But a lot of people are value deniers. They'll be saying shit like, oh, I'm not using money and status, but if they're in a third world shithole country and they have a job and they're able to travel and they make more money than the locals, then they do have a third world money status advantage and the exotic advantage. They're just value denying. Doesn't need to be a prescription. It's not a prescription. It's completely legal, and he bought it from Amazon, but he cannot tell anyone. It's top secret. So one of my Filipino students recently joined Elite Access. He's doing everything that I'm saying. He's already gone through the playlist in 1 day. He wrote down 10 takeaways. So I said, if this motherfucker can go through 10 takeaways in 1 day, then kick out the rest. That's what I say. That's what I thought. The black student went through all of it. All the students who went through all the mindset shit got laid. And the Middle Eastern student in real life, when he bought Elite 30, he paid me in cash. He paid me in cash. He only uses cash. He does not use PayPal or some shit like that. So he gave me the money for Elite 30, but I called him out saying, you make too many excuses. So for him, his mindset was shifted. He was able to adapt. So at his job, just like Marco, a lot of the students that follow my advice, they start getting promoted from Elite 30. So once he start Elite 30, it's like he start making over 100K in cash because he tattoos people's hairs and stuff. So because he tattoos bald people, he's not actually he does not have hair, even if you see in his thumbnail. It's drawn on. It's drawn on. So for people that are bald and they have no hair, you can still draw on the dots on your hair. That's what he does. So he learned how to talk to the clients with social skills, and his money went up to 100K a year. He showed me all cash on his bed, the same bed that he used for the BDSM as you saw in the last clip for the last YouTube live for the screenshot when her legs were spread. Same fucking bed. But that's the thing though. Do you see? They all went through a mindset change. They all went through a habit change. He practiced Elite 30 with all his clients, and he practiced in front of the mirror all the time. He can just go out anytime and get laid. It's almost like a few approaches, like the army, and he wins. Because you guys are dependent so much on game, tactics. You guys will not get any results because you are not enough. You need the calibrations. You need the mindset shifts. You also need the physical changes, the fashion that self-proclaimed high leg count guy dismisses. Oh, Blazers are tryhard and, it's just a threshold. Bullshit. Can you have protector status if you have lots of money? You're going to have both. Money matters depending on the age of the women. Rich guys. So a lot of people said, oh, if you wear Blazers, you attract more like classy women. No, all women are into Blazers. So if you want to be edgy, you can mix the Blazers with the whatever. Rolexes. They're attracted to the husband material. Every woman wants to get married. Here's a big secret. All women secretly wants to get married one day. So if you don't have any fucking money, right? Why do you think they're into gangsters? Because gangsters have a lot of drug money. And if they say like, "Oh, I'm in Europe and I don't use money and status," well, there's more money than they have in Europe. Therefore, it still matters. You don't have to give women any of the money or buy them anything, but having it is better than not having it. Be husband material. All women wants to get married. That's the big secret. Exactly. Then the divorce, it doesn't matter. Use a prenuptial agreement. But the point is this. The point is this. All women wants to get married one day. So why not skip to the front of the fucking line by dressing husband material? But they say stupid shit like, "Oh yeah, I'm not playing like a attraction based game. I'm playing arousal or some arousal curve dick game." It's like, dude, it's like these guys look like a fucking Negro. And I'm pretty sure that's not exactly a non-attraction if 87% of white women are into black guys, according to a New Jersey survey of in college. That's attraction. It's just value denying. How old for a guy to be married for the first time? I don't know. Like, doesn't matter. Do what you want. If you want to get some of my students want, you know how many students got married? The bald white student in the boot camp already is married. I saw his Instagram. He married his girlfriend that he got from the boot camp. The other guys are married too. Lots of my students are married. So if ABCs of attract, or what they call low self-esteem, starts claiming, "Oh, so many students got married." Well, guess what? We'll count who has more students married. Mine's all from Daygame, by the way. We'll see who has more. How many students have procreated? You have no idea. I got more. We'll see. We can count back to back and see how many students they got married and how many students I got married. How many of my students procreated? How many of theirs procreated? Who's going to win? John, do you agree? No, I don't. I think it's the most bullshit concept ever. It's just another way to a downward spiral, to bullshit. You're going to fucking gaslight your mind. So I don't believe in that shit. I say follow the obstacle course. Let's continue. So if you got your mindsets like 50 out of 50, then it's scored out of 50, right? How coachable, how adaptable, how much skills you have, how much belief, how much thoughts, feelings. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Most of them who suck shit that I kicked out all got like a 7 out of 10 or 7 out of 50 mindset. Sorry. I'm only human. That delays your late since the stormy ocean, higher waves are fucking up your mindset. You want to get laid during COVID-19 island, right? So if you have to get your head above water, which you have to actually get the habits down first. Then once you got the habits down, then you can get your body floating. Then you can swim. Rather than these fucking assholes ignoring me. Yes, John, I'm going to do that. I'm throwing them a fucking life preserver from the helicopter. Here you go. Right? Here's the helicopter. But guess what? They grab onto it, right? It's like, they don't even grab onto it. They just swim around it. Women and kids aren't everything. Look, you can believe whatever you want. Some of my students, after 26 lays and 2 models, like the Middle Eastern guy, he wants to settle down. So is the white student with 10 fuck buddies, 5 2 models and 1 model girlfriend. He wants to settle down too. At first, he wanted to be a master pickup artist, but after his girlfriend, who's 9.5 out of 10, and these guys have way hotter girlfriends than, self-proclaimed high count guy by far. Like side by side, it's not even close. The London student's girlfriend is a professional model, and the sister too. He fucked. That's what they do for a living, to put food in their mouths. They're professionals. And it's not an Instagram model. It's a professional model, fashion model, who moved to London to get a job and to be a model. And that's his girlfriend. What the fuck? Under my training. What is the best age to settle down? Up to you. Up to you. It's up to you. You have the choice with my training. I'm surprised that not everyone's begging me for training because you're worshipping too hard. You're worshipping status maxing. So if you want to get to that get laid during COVID-19 island and not drown like these stupid motherfuckers, then you gotta learn the swimming skills, man. It's not just tactics in the water. It's not like, okay, if you just aim for the island and then you just try to go in a straight line and then you try to use your technique like this, right? What the fuck? That rationalization, the automation does not work. It doesn't work for more than 3 students of theirs, which is probably tall white guys. It doesn't work like that. You got to build up the skill set. Sorry, you got to build up the skill set in the mindset. So you need the skills first, not strategies. To keep strategies is here's what's going to scare you. Okay, strategies. It's almost like the icing on the cake. They say that SMV is the icing on the cake in 95% game because they're tall white guys. All their students are white except for a few ethnics for Tinder, which doesn't even count. Okay, but what I'm saying is that, sorry, nose is itchy. Like, but what I'm trying to say is that what the fuck, man? You know, you need skills to swim, to float. I'm gonna have all the late testimonials nonstop. It's never gonna end. So building on that success, I incorporate the mindsets into their training obstacle course. In the past, it was all outer game or nonverbal communication with social skills, not socio skills, which is game tactics. They only got 5 to 7 Asian lay testimonials for socio skills. It'll be over in about 5 years, 5 to 8 years. The government will keep it going. So you guys gotta have to get used to it, and you guys have to adapt to my system. It's not going to be over, guys. You think it's going to be over? Everyone's just going to get vaccinated, but no, I'm saying. But aren't you practically texting a girl, not your students? They just copy and paste my text, right? But it's not like it's not cheating. It's not cheating because they can still learn a lot from doing that. I know it seems like unfair that they can just copy and paste my text and the woman comes out, but that debunks the whole 10% theory of the women coming out. It's almost like 90 something, just like my Pakistani mentor. And you can see the student. He got 2 women coming out to fuck him during the same day. How the fuck is that possible? Is your lay not there? No, it's their lay. All I can do is just help them. I didn't tell them to text everything. I only told them where they're not, like where the women are starting to not comply with them. That's all. I just told them where the non-compliance are. It's still them pressing the button and sending it to her, not me. So I know it's not fair, but so there is really a text game for Daygame that's different than Tinder. Tinder is about how fast can you get her to WhatsApp and how fast can you get her going out. But that only works for the white people. My 5'5" Indian student has so little value that he got no fucking results. During his class, I believe, not a lot of people got results. They start complaining. They're like, give me a refund or some shit. And I think self-proclaimed high lay count was like fighting with another guy called Ryan, or I don't know who the fuck this is. Is he Latino? But they had another WhatsApp group and some of the students were complaining this and that. And then they got into a big argument or some shit. But I don't care. I don't give a shit. But the point is this. He saw this with his own eyes that now at least they're giving you this sort of like, oh, you got a refund policy. If you don't do you do everything we say, you get, if you don't get results. All the ethnics are not going to get results except for tall Indians or tall blacks. Everyone else, right? It's like, it's a good idea. So, all right, let's continue. That's the nonverbal communication. Yeah, so it was all nonverbal communication before with social skills, not social skills. Because, for example, let's just say a tall Sri Lankan person. He has only 5 Asian lay testimonials and 6 Indians. And he's strong. And he's taller than me. If there's only 6 Indians, right, and only 1 from India, why the fuck is he teaching people from India? Why will you worship? You won't get any results. You get less than 1% chance of succeeding. 6 right there. 5 Asians. That means Indians have more value than Asians, which is true. But I got 34 Asians, and right now I'm at 490 lay poll testimonials. Even if you got 2 lays in one day for this black student, I'm still lumping them together in the garbage bag. They still count as 1, unfortunately. It's not going to count as 2 to my testimonial. It counts as 1. If he got 200 lays in one day, it still counts, and he contacts me, and he tells me it's still 1 lay, or 1 towards the number. So I just put them in a big fucking bag. Give a thumbs up if you guys are learning something. You start opening up your fucking mindsets. So use social skills. What they're teaching, ABCs, only 6 fucking Asian lay testimonials. Queefin Casanova 7. Justin Wayne, only 1 Asian and 10 lays for the students, or 10 testimonials. Todd V, 3 lay testimonials, 0 for COVID. Self-proclaimed Halakan guys, 3 lay testimonials, 5 Asians. You get it? You see a pattern here emerging? This is not social skills. No matter what ABC says, is not social skills or Queefin Casanova, verbals. This is not the same thing that I'm teaching. So Asians have the least value, BS. Yeah, they do. Because look at this, you fucking idiot. This is all the dating coaches in the world, testimonials. Justin Wayne, 1 Asian. 5. ABCs of low self-esteem. 6. Queefin Casanova, 7. These companies have been around for like decades, more than a decade. ABCs have been. Why is there only 6, you fucking idiot? You think they have so much value? Maybe for Daygame or Tinder, but Daygame? Fuck no. Fuck no. So it depends. Look at the numbers. Not something I made up. This is how it's like. Most dating coaches don't even have a single Asian lay testimonial, or they have that 1 token Asian. They're mostly 0s and 1s, or mostly 0s. Get it? John, do you have advice on how to lay a Latina? Are you talking about from an Asian perspective? Most Latinas are very shallow, so you need either a high status or you need a very high height and muscles. So you want to start like, I'm not saying that you need elevator shoes and injecting steroids, but most Latinas are extremely, extremely shallow. So you want the protector status. Or if you're Filipino looking, then you look kind of like a Mexican. To get them, you must really, really have like protector status. Or you're their own race. Hope that makes sense. Hope that answers your question. So guys, start bulking up. I'm not saying take steroids. I don't believe in steroids. I'm not on steroid. It's hard to escape the friend zone with. It's really hard to escape. It's really hard to escape from Latina because your protector status is not going to change. Plus your friend zone. It's really hard. So you have to same day lay a Latina, or you'll never see her again. Or unless you have super fucking high status. If Latinas are into you, you have the highest status in the world. That's the truth. Because they're shallow. Because they got big hips. So they need big protector status. Big hips, big protector status. And for the people that are showing up right now, the black student, here's his first lay. It just happened. It's censored, so I cannot get in trouble. And then afterwards, got another lay. Let's see. Right over Facebook images right here. His second lay in a row. You're like, what the fuck? 2 lays in one day. So why are Latinas more shallow than white girls? Because they have bigger hips than white girls. Therefore, they need a lot more. They have bigger hips, so they got bigger protector status. They need a stronger guy, whiter guy, higher hypergamy. And they're into tall Asians that are 5'11" to 6'2". If you're really muscular and tall, or you're a Filipino that looks like a Latino, that looks like a Mexican, then they're into you. It's just the truth, guys. My article that gets the most views is Flaky Latinas. You can type Google, right? Flaky Latinas, you go to my site. So it's not like something I'm making up. Most Hispanic guys are relatively short. Doesn't matter. They're the same race as the women, right? They're the same perceived natural status as the women. So even my old roommate looks Latino. He's still with his Latina girlfriend because he is 6 foot tall and, good looking and quite muscular. Because he looks like a Latino. He's not Latino, he's Indian. But they're still together. So what about 5'8" muscular Latino? It's fine because you're the same fucking race. You get it? You're the same race. So it doesn't matter. If you're Latino, Latina, then you have the same perceived natural status. So you'll be fine. Just like Marco, he's around that height. It's why it's easier for him to get like Latinas. He got 2 Latina girlfriends before. 1 white girl lay and plus another Latina under my training before. Sorry to kick you out. I really didn't want to. But you get my point. So this isn't social skills, there's socio skills. 5'5" too short for a Latina. I did have a student that did get laid late, but the thing is that, yeah, it is. So you're gonna get a lot of flaking. While my other student, who was 5'4", the Filipino guy, he finally got Latinas after I trained him. So it is possible, but it takes a lot of skill and a lot of value. They're into value, but protector status helps. So me and other Asian PUAs, we used to joke around, like, who got flaked on by the Latina, right? We always like, oh, flaky Latinas. We used to joke around all the time. Like, oh, another flaky Latina. Yup. We always had a running joke that they're gonna flake on Asian men that are not like 6'2" or like 5'11". It's been a running joke. It's like, is this a Brazilian? Yeah, Brazilian, just as I say. The Brazilians are flakiest for Asian men that are short, by far. You're the man, John. Keep work, but keep spreading gospel. Thank you very much. Girls who have unrealistic expectations, they cannot help it. When you go to Mexico, because it's their land, right? You have more of the exotic third world money status advantage. So therefore, they'll be compliant to short Asians. If you go to Mexico, or if you go to Colombia, or if you go like whatever, because you have the exotic advantage. That's what one of the other students did, and I kicked him out because he's not hungry. He went on Tinder to go on to meet Latinas. After 10 matches, he got a lay, and he came back from Mexico, back to the United States. So yes, that's how they work. Latinas are like that. If you're in their land, they'll be into you if you're Asian. But if you're in the United States, they'll be not into you. All right, let's continue. So, yeah, grit is basically growth, right? How likely are you to seek new perspectives? Resilience, bouncing back from adversity, instinct, going on about things the best way, not the hardest way, and tenacity, perseverance until you knock them out. So, as a time machine, I can predict your lay. So, if you're lazy, you take no action like a zombie, like these 5 fucking loser students. No offense, Marco. Then they'll obviously fail because they're procrastinators. The stormy ocean will completely drown them. And now he knows that doing 10,000 approaches without doing Elite 30, it's a recipe for disaster. And the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again during Delta variant and expecting different results. If you do not make the physical changes, the mindset changes, Marco, finish your fucking playlist, Marco. Marco, finish your fucking playlist. Yeah, stop fucking around. Start with Elite 30 one day at a time. Stop fucking around, Marco. And the definition of insanity is doing the same things, expecting different results. So I call it the speed of implementation of grit. So it's not about 10,000 approaches. It's about drowning. Sorry, nose is super itchy. I don't know what the fuck. So I made a chart about this grit, about this drowning thing. I'll show you if I can find it. Right here. So for this chart, you can see that over here, right? Here's the water. Here's a pipe. The pipe will go to the next room to fill it with water. It'll keep drowning you, keep going higher, higher, higher. If you don't plug in the looks, money, status, social skills, social calibrations, emotional control and game. If you don't plug this in, it'll drown you. You see that? That's what's happening. Taller people live shorter. Gives a shit. You live a better life. You get a halo effect. This is why confidence is needed or enough charm. Are you sure you're not that stupid? Oh, hi, John. I'm that Chinese guy. You just need more charisma and confidence. Confidence without skill sets with the 30-day challenge is going to make you drown. Don't you guys get it? I show you a fucking chart that debunks you. You think anything that says confidence over here? No? Look. Look. Confidence is emotions. Just a little bit of emotions. But you have no social skills and no social calibrations. You will fucking drown. You can talk super fast with confidence. Hey, John. Or, excuse me, I have a question. I'm very confident. Oh, I get another high five. Yes. I'm talking like one of my students talking super fast. If you talk like that to women with confidence, it's like a motorcycle. If you want to ride a motorcycle, do you want to be confident or competent? Confident or competent? You want to be competent. You want to have skills. It's not about fucking tactics. It's not about how confident you are. There's no guarantee that automatically that'll get you a leg. You still need some fucking skills. Skills will bring confidence, not just false confidence. You can try to do false confidence. You just pull the women and nothing happens. It looks great for infield. That's just like, positive reactions. But if you want to close, you want some skills, and you guys are not getting it. It's not getting through your dumb fucking brain. It's not. So let's continue. So doing things the best way, the growth mindset, not resilience and confidence. My black student, when he stops with the tactics, because the black student before was all about tactics. John, what's the next strategy? I want to do the next strategy. Do I use the opener like this strategy? Like, fuck you. That's why I said, focus on the fucking skill set. He's like, what? Like I taught you on the Skype. Focus on the skill set. Fuck the strategies. You get compliance, invisible compliance that you cannot understand by doing Elite 30. The black student did every single day. He did Elite 30. He focused on one skill at a time. He didn't aim for that lay. He just focused on the first day. Happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe. Which Marco can't even get through because he's fucking ADHD. Number 2, meditative breathing, slowing down the nervous system. All you do all day is just slowing down your nervous system, breathing 10 times before you approach. The whole day. But John, why not in for the lay? I'm being confident. How many inches in the max are we safe to add in elevator shoes and no one notices? About 3 inches or below. 2.8 or 3. Do not go any further. Don't notice if you try to wear 5-inch elevator shoes. Do not fucking wear a 5-inch elevator shoe. So same with the tall Middle Eastern student with 26 lays. He got laid at every lockdown due to him practicing Elite 30 all the time in the mirror. You get it? Practice in the fucking mirror and then go out there like a ninja. A fucking ninja. So it's useless. It's not useless. You can still wear like a 4-inch, but it's just going to be harder to walk around it. So here's my point. These guys who are giving advice about strategy, they're all fucking samurai. Like, look at my big sword. Look at me. I got a big sword. Strength. You got to fight like a ninja. Social stealth is your uniform. Your skill set. You have to be 10 times more skillful than the samurai. You see that? Even these students are like ninjas. Middle Eastern, the black student, the 5'5" Indian. They're all not samurai. They're not using samurai tactics. They're not using strength for strength. They're using skill. You can't use fucking tactics without the skills. I know it's not fair. Practicing over and over the fucking skill set. I know it's not fair. Life is not fair. But you have to stop listening to other dating coaches who are above 5'9", who are whitewashed, blackwashed, using more fucking skills. I mean, using more fucking game or tactics. You guys start focusing on the skills. Nobody wants to learn the skills. I can't even get Marco to start the Elite 30. You know how long it took for him to fucking get through the playlist? He hadn't even You know how many of the 5 students have started the playlist I kicked out from Elite Access? How many? 0. They haven't, like, the guy's like, yes, John, I'm too busy to play some playlists because I need to go to Canada because they won't sponsor me over here in the United States. Well, yeah, because you sound like a fucking chink. They don't want to sponsor you. No offense. I mean, I'm Chinese. I can say it. But when you act like that, hey, John, I don't know why they want to sponsor me. I talk super fast, right? Nobody respects you, you fucking idiot. And then I say, just spend one day on the playlist. You have the new supplements for ADHD. You know what he says? But John, I cannot work on it because I got to work on my the ESL whatever test. And I was like, dude, just one day you can get past the test easily. You have the supplements. Guess what? His test is at the end of fucking December. His test is at the end of December. He's full of excuses. That's why they fail. That's why they cannot develop skills. So it's not about 10,000 approaches. So if the black student is able to get them out, and you might be saying it's cheating if they're just copying and pasting my text game. and the students are just copying and pasting it. The woman comes out, they fuck them, yeah, but they still have to close her. They still have to deal with objections. They still have to sexually seed it and seeding in the maneuver too. Not like self-proclaimed high leg count shit. It didn't work for the 5'5" Indian guy. His fucking dating methods don't even work. The bedroom stuff does not work. He has no value. I had to reteach him all that shit. I understand. Sometimes I see you in jeans and with a blazer, but in your blog you say get like a, yeah. Well, in the past, the students used to use slim jeans, right, light color. So that's why I did it before. It still works. The black student's using that because he cannot afford the other pants. So that's why. It may be next month. So actually, I'm not sure if he still needs to wait till next month. He put every single dollar he had at the time to Elite 30. It was worth it. He's a superstar now. So now you guys are getting it. So all the students that have been successful, including the white London student, the other 5 foot, well, all the students, Asians and white, they all have been through the same mindset shit by not making excuses. And they're all working on their skill set. So now is time that you guys are impatient. I'm going to tell you the 10 mindsets of the losers. I have extracted 10 mindsets. This is the first time I ever review it to the public. Are you ready? Listen up. If you have any of these 10 mindsets, you will fail during Delta variant. You will drown. So let's begin. And no offense to Marco for any of these. So mindset number 1, okay? All ADHD people, right, that I've noticed. Ready? But it's a numbers game if they weren't approaching before seeing you. But if they didn't train under me, this black guy, this Middle Eastern, none of them will get laid during Delta. Delta is not a numbers game because you can drown. The waves are wavy now. Don't you get it? It's wavy because the mindsets are fucked. Delta is infecting everyone that's not vaccinated. Don't you get it? Because the mindset is so fucked. Their mindsets are like zombies. So they cannot keep their head above the water doing it my way. The skills. So they cannot get their body to float. They're just sinking over and over. But they're just like, I'm not going to listen to your advice, John. I'm going to do it my way. Huh? I'll do it my way. I'm going to talk super fast to a woman. It's confidence. Oh, yeah. It's confidence, John. Women like confidence, like charisma. Because you empathize with the women. They're scared to death. Whenever they're scared, right, you need more social skills and social calibrations. You can't be the autistic PUA like Marco, no offense. Fucking flirting all day, talking super fast is not going to get a lay. So if Marco, if you don't learn how to talk slower, it's game over. You can't even do the social skill flow drill. Marco, start stepping up in front of the world. My name is attached to your training. Yes, I got you 4 lays. 2 girlfriends at the same time, 1 white girl for one of the lays. But my name is attached to your fucking laziness. So go fucking get out there and fucking do the 30-day challenge, you fucking lazy siesta having motherfucker. Siesta means a nap in Spanish. Like a siesta. Stop having a fucking siesta. All right, let's continue. So, the first trait that they all have is they're all chubby. All the ADHD fucks are chubby. I'm not sure it's because of laziness. Even this Indian guy was a little bit chubby. Now they're all intermittent fasting. Every single one of them, including the Chinese guy. There's almost like he's fat growing out of his face because his workout plan does not work. It's like, yes, John, I'm starting intermittent fasting. I don't know why. They're all chubby. Every single ADHD student, every single one, 100%, a little bit chubby. What the fuck? Is that a correlation? That's like the only thing I've noticed because they're all chubby. They're all chubby. What the fuck? How? Is it because they're lazy? They're working out now for physical changes, but they refuse to change the mindset. They're all fucking chubby. What about ADHD, skinny, autistic? I haven't found any. Of all the students, the ADHDs are gonna suffer during Delta, but right now, the ones I kicked out, all the fucking ADHD ones, I look back at the most ADHD students, they're all chubby. The guy who got married, the Indian guy, chubby. 52-year-old old man, chubby, ADHD. You know, this Indian guy, chubby. The 5'5". Fucking like all these people are kicked out, all chubby. Marco, not as skinny as before. All of them, ADHD, are all chubby. What the fuck? They're not chubby before COVID, but they're chubby after COVID. They cannot take care of themselves. You're like, what the fuck? That's right. You gotta start taking care of yourself. You gotta start intermittent fasting and stop fucking around. Get your fucking jawline back, motherfuckers. But how are they all? I don't know. I'm just looking at the data points. That's number one trait. So what's number two? They're all ADHD for the bad students recently. For Delta, you all have shit mindsets. You can't even finish the playlist because you're too ADHD. Even though Marco has the supplement, they cannot finish the playlist. They're not motivated. So that's another thing in common with the bad students. They all have ADHD now. They're fucked. ADHD cunts are all fucked because they're lazy. So what's the third trait? Number three, the third trait, because I interview all of them before I kick them out. I'm going to add the conversation to the book. Conversations with the worst students of all time. Don't forget, Marco was a great student before COVID. So was the 52-year-old man. But after COVID, they became cunts. Cortisol fucking ADHD autistic cunts. So all of them believe the same belief. If they make 10,000 approaches, they'll automatically get laid. Eventually. They're just one approach away. That they can play a numbers game. Instead, you'll drown. You'll fucking drown, all of you. You guys have been all... How about this? I challenge you motherfuckers who are watching this, the 5 I kicked out. You go ahead and document, without doing my system. Just do not watch Elite 30. Do not look at the inner circle advice videos. Go out there, doing it your way. Count down 10,000 approaches. Document it. Film it all. 0 lays. Yet at the same time, the black students, Middle Eastern student, the Indian, they'll get laid nonstop because they have the habits down. The mindsets and the habits. Mindsets without the habits is not enough. Skill set without mindset equals upset. If they try to do Elite 30 without the fucking mindsets, nothing will happen. Because they're resisting too much. Don't you get it? They really believe if they make 10,000 approaches, it's an automatic lay. It's not going to happen. They're going to drown. Okay. So another student liked your photo in the inner circle. Black student, another lay. Okay, yeah. That's great. So I post it in the outer circle, I mean. If you want to see it. If you want to join my Facebook group. The outer circle. I posted both of the students 2 lays in a row. Back to back, hours apart. So the reason why I'm on here on YouTube Live is because I don't feel like being here. I don't have to be here. But because the students got laid. Might as well. And that's the problem, because if I post too many lay testimonials back to back, you guys will get bored of it, or you guys will think this is normal. This is not normal. Other dating coaches do not have these fucking Delta lay testimonials. Never mind the student getting laid back to back in the same fucking day. Twice. That means the text game works. This whole fucking idea, 10% comes out. Bullshit. Just copy and paste my text, and fuck you if you think it's cheating. He's not copying all the text. He's just copying one of them. Just plug it in here, and the rest becomes compliant. So there's a text game my Pakistani mentor taught me. It's not about sending shorter text, therefore they're not going to respond because of Tinder. That's stupid. You don't just shorten the text for the sake of shortening a text because, of whatever. The texts have to draw them in. Whenever you go grocery shopping, you ever notice when you go to the checkout line, there's always these tabloid magazines called the National Enquirer. It's always like Tom Cruise is gay or something, or Hillary Clinton is a fucking alien. Biden is a zombie, right? You have to read it. I'm not saying you need to write clickbait shit, but whatever you're writing at that time needs to draw her in to respond. So it can be short, a behavioral game, like my Pakistani mentor does. You don't just fucking spam her full of stupid words. That's going to make it harder. That's bad advice. If this is already working for the students, the women are coming out and banging them. Doesn't have to be long fucking text. Then what? They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Let's continue. All right. So besides the 10,000 approach myth, right? They all believe that. They argue against me. I said, dude, you're not going to get a lay there in Delta doing it your way. And the problem with people like Marco is he's already gotten 4 lays under my training, 2 girlfriends, because they got results before. They believe that the same fucking strategy, even the 52-year-old man could not get laid at 2020 using just game. What the fuck? Until he retrained with Kaizen. Lay. 2 lays. He fucks a 21-year-old. He fucks a 25-year-old. This old, ugly fuck. Bald guy. No looks. So what is Kaizen? Is fucking 30-day challenge of habits, skills, not fucking game tactics. John, is important to be funny to girls? No. But it's good to be witty. You don't have to be funny. You have to be witty. If you're fast and you can talk fast, naturals are witty. They can come up with stuff on the spot. You know? You can always come up with a funny joke. It doesn't mean you have to be self-amusing. You're not here to self-amuse like RSD or, you know, like Gen lifestyle shit. And how many lay testimonials does he have in total for his boot camps? 0. For Daygame. He has lots of night game. How many does he have for his product? 1. So he only has 1 Asian. So if we were putting him on the board, this self-amusement shit does not work for most Asians unless you're tall, strong, and good looking. But you have to be witty. My Pakistani mentor is so fucking quick-witted. It's almost like a fucking 32-core processor CPU. He's able to finish the women's sentences sometimes before they even say it. And he can come up with funny jokes all the time. So that's a natural. They're usually quite funny. They come up with some witty shit. If you can do that in front of a woman, it shows a huge amount of intelligence. A survival value too. But most people cannot do it. Most people are too dumb to do it because they're zombies. So fuck self-amusement. But wittiness is fine. It's not going to make you look like a clown despite what they say. It's what the naturals use, the real naturals. Maybe there are less Asian testimonials because they don't need to come and see dating coaches, everything like that. No. I don't think that's true. There are less Asian testimonials because they are fucking autistic dating coaches. Super zombies who are not teaching social skills. I'll debunk your stupid theory. When you look at Tinder, Asians can use Tinder sometimes. They can also use night game. There is a lot of late testimonials for night game for Jan Lifestyle. Also for Queef and Casanova and ABCs of Attraction. Tons. But they can't get it for Daygame. You see that? So they do have a lot of students. Tons. It's just they're autistic. They have no social skills. That's why they only have 5 to 7 Asian lay testimonials for all dating coaches at most. You get it? Autism. They have no social skills like the naturals. None. Only I teach it. They're fucked. They have no idea. This is a zombie game. You get it? Autistic, fucking sociopath, zombie game. All of them. It's not because they have less Asian students. It's more like they can't even get Asian students laid in Daygame. I can. I got 34 versus their fucking 7. 6, 5. Fuck these people. That's what you don't get. Anyways, let's continue. So what's the next mindset? That they all talk super fucking fast due to cortisol, adrenaline. All of you. You can't control it. You can't even hook a set. You literally sound like you're breathing fire on women like a dragon. Set after set. You refuse to acknowledge that it's a pussy dryer. So when I tell the students that, they get upset because they say, John, I can't change that. I don't know why I'm talking so fast. I'm depressed. I was like, fuck you, because you're full of cortisol, you fucking cortisol fuck. Zombie. You have to talk fast. All the zombies out there, all of them have talked fast. They all failed. Fast equals fail. And for the old man, sounds like a silent epidemic. For the old man, the 52-year-old man, you know, at first, when he started Kaizen, he was like saying when he could not hook a woman, it only lasts 45 seconds because when he started speaking his German language, that's how he sounds like. Like that's how German sounds like. Sounds like fucking Hitler talking, but super fast. The language is full of syllables. None of the women hooked. So he started asking the women, do you like my fast speech? And she says, I love it. So he's like, see, John? She says she loved the fast speech. You're wrong. I was like, well, how long did she stay in the fucking set, you dumb fucking zombie? He says, well, 45 seconds. I was like, see? She didn't fuck you. So shut the fuck up. So afterwards, he bangs like his second lay, right? You know what happened? The woman says, you know, you'd speak a little bit slower than usual before, right? And he told me, John, see, you were wrong because this woman I just fucked, 25-year-old, she said I was speaking slower than before, and she found it disconcerting. It's disconcerting. Speaking slower is more important than the deep voice. So she said she found it disconcerting. It's like, oh, you're wrong, John. But guess what? And I said, hey, motherfucker, you bald fuck. Did she fuck you? Right? And he said, oh, shit, she did fuck me. And I was like, yeah. So then he says, oh, so the slower talk actually converted. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, fuck, you're right, John. Of course I'm right. Then he shut the fuck up. Don't you get it? You should listen to how slow he talks after when he made the testimonial. Just find him here. Okay. So here's the lay pic he sent of the woman. Quite pretty. His testimonial is slower. Let's hear it. He permanently talks slower.
This is my first week after the second round of Kaizen training with John Elite. And it worked again. After the first week of training, I had already pulled and had sex.
He doesn't have to talk fast. He is not expected to be interrupted. So it becomes a behavioral game. You don't have to fucking plow when you talk slower. The syllables are not going to be like, I'm not shy. He is too, it doesn't matter. The women fucked him. He banged a 25-year-old and he banged a 21-year-old. So shut the fuck up.
A 21-year-old, she said she was 21. She was certainly under.
Do not tell women what they like, because all these cortisol fucks talk as fast as humanly possible. They have no fucking value. You can disagree with me all you want, but the proof-based thinking over and over. None of my students who are fucking slayers talk fast. They're all chilled. They talk slower. They take their fucking time.
Who was a clear 8.5 in looks in my book, with myself being a 3.
You think Elon Musk needs to talk super fast, or billionaires? Of course not. They can speak up whatever fucking pace that they want. People will listen because they have value. You think an alpha male needs to speak fast? Most of the naturals I know do not speak fast. They take their time. They talk very, very slow, and they flirt better. They can be more in the moment. But once again, you want to talk as fast as you can with your syllables all over the place. It's like pennies in your speech everywhere. It's just like, fuck you.
On a good day. Now, 1 week after the training, it worked again. Yesterday, I ran into a Middle Eastern girl who said she was 25, who had been to my place before.
Yeah, but he couldn't close her until he took Kaizen, and she was just That's the funny thing. The body language in the slow speech got her so fucking turned on.
But outside a little bit of teasing at that time, nothing happened. This time, she was very, very adamant that she would not be seen with me in public for whatever reason. She wanted to keep it all hush, hush and secret. When she came here, she kind of conducted an intelligence operation.
Yeah, she just wanted to make sure that nobody can capture images of her when she's nude and stuff and having sex. So she checked out his place. I'm not sure if she thought he was a dating coach or he was just recording for the sake of... Because he was so good at that time. He's quit the game now because after he got the 21-year-old lay, then he got the 25-year-old. He's happy. This is his life dream, to bang a 20-year-old. That was his goal. He's finished. He can die a happy man now.
To make sure there were no audio or video recording devices switched on, she went through my desk drawers and found the dictaphone, which was switched off. When she was sure enough that there was no audio or video recording, she put her arms around my shoulders and let me take her. In my book, she is a clear 8.
I think she's 7.6, but still is not too far off.
10. And what is interesting, her face is very, very similar to one of the girls I put up for the X.
You see, when he's talking slower, it's very easy to listen to him. If he was telling his story, his truth, it's almost like it hooks you, it hypnotizes you into listening to it. You digest it piece by piece. Don't you get it?
Exercises where John gave me an exercise to use printed out women's photos to do certain exercises.
Yeah, if he looks at a photo of his ideal women, then he can experience the fear of cortisol when he practices Kaizen, the habits. It doesn't matter what a guy thinks. It matters what the woman thinks. It matters what the woman thinks. And if this is what women want, because it demonstrates they're more alpha and they don't care what other people think and they can finish their sentences anytime they want. You have opinions as facts. I have facts as opinions. I have 490 laid poll testimonials, Justin. Just a slightly bit faster than this guy, but has to sound natural.
Does look very similar to one of them. After some negotiation, I got a photo of her with her face covered with a towel and covering everything that would make her identifiable, with the promise it would never be shown to anyone.
He showed me her face in the lay pic too, in her nude pics that she sent him. She says, I'm not allowed to send it to anyone or show anyone. So I'm not going to put it for the testimonial. I'm going to ask him permission if I can at least cover her entire face. And, censor the boobs and everything. She's actually quite pretty. Most of you will be shocked. You'll be like, what the fuck?
But me. I had trained with several other dating coaches. And, occasionally I got a very small result. But as for long-lasting and substantial, sustainable results, there was basically nothing. If you are getting next to none results like me, and you really lack social consciousness like me, then I recommend you train with John Elite, because from all I have seen from years of looking at the scene, he is the only one who could substantially and sustainably change my attitude and my behavior from being a very nervous and fearful person to
he was a very fast talking cortisol fuck.
Being a lot more stable, a lot more happy, and within 6 weeks taking home and having sex with 2 girls who are less than half my age and way more than double of me in the looks scale. Therefore, I recommend you take the training with John if you want something real to happen in your dating life, and so far you have not found the right person to do it.
All right, cool. So I'll post all his testimonials. There's quite a few. He is 5'7", 5'7" and bald and ugly, no jawline. Seriously. So that takes away all your excuses. That only through my system can you get laid during the Delta variant and during lockdown 3 or whatever. I'm the only one who's going to continue to get more lay testimonials, even though it seems impossible. I wish I can make some normal advice videos here, talking about different topics. But all I can ever talk about lately is how much the students are getting laid. And this is the only place that students are getting laid for the Delta variant. Maybe I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Their theories out there, no matter how good sounding it is, has all fucking failed. The student results do not reflect it. Okay, so the next thing that I've noticed, if Filipino students are 5'4" to 6, you're tall here. If you're 5'8", you're tall here. Yeah. A lot of Filipino students are either 5'7" or 5'4", averagely. Yeah, as you said, 5'5", around there. So this is true. This is true. They're shorter, but most of my Filipino students, except for one in the past, all of them have gotten laid under my training. You guys have a better tenacity in terms of grit. So growth, resilience, instinct, tenacity, grit. You guys have a killer instinct to finish the fight. So most of you are going to be very, very successful in my training. That's what I want to say. So the next step, or the next thing, the next trait that you'll lose in, like in Daygame during Delta, is if you keep adding your own steps, your own version, you never do it my way. For example, all the zombies, usually whenever they're practicing their skill set, for example, they'll always do it their own way. They'll add an extra step when they're trying to do the stop. They'll start adding their hand like this and they'll point. Or they'll start adding their own fucking fashion to it. They start adding their own spam or algorithms of bullshit into my training. And they'll keep doing that every single time. So you tell them, if you go to this street, you're going to turn left. So what would a zombie do, like a Vietnamese student I kicked out? He'll turn right. And then he'll crash the cars. And then he'll finally turn left. And then he'll drive into the ditch. He'll have to add steps. If you tell him to do it exactly like this, you take this supplement to get rid of your adrenaline, he has to take double. He just can't do it my way because he has no growth mindset and no instincts. Isn't that weird? They're adding extra steps. I've never seen that before. Why are you adding extra fucking steps? What the fuck? They all do it. They all do it. They just have to add their own signature to it. They can't follow the recipe. It's like they rather burn a steak, and the next steak they cook is going to be less burnt and then less burnt. So they drill down bad habits. They never follow the fucking recipe. Here's all the ingredients. They have to take a shit into the ingredients. Every time. They have to add their own signature shit in it. They have to take a fucking dump into the ingredients. I've given you a perfect fucking system, but you got to add your own steps to it. Here's a cough medicine. Losing my voice. Okay. So what's the next step? All right. So next, loser mindset. Sounds hard to work with, John. Yeah. They're very hard to work with. These guys are what they call unteachable cases. During the Delta variant or lockdown 1, lockdown 2, lockdown 3. Imagine every person that was a normal case became a hard case. So even the other black student that got 20-something lays, he started making excuses until I called him out. And he says, sorry, John, I'll never make another excuse again. Don't you get it? They jump from one place. So if they're a hard case, they become an impossible case during COVID-19 because all the cortisol, all the deaths out there, all the COVID, their mindsets, the cortisol is making them into the flight mode or freeze mode. They're all freaked out. So all of them are all fucked up. So that impossible cases, if they were not difficult enough already, the autistic fucks. Now, they are unteachable cases. They jump down one. Everyone has jumped down one. That's why the mindsets are important to get them back on track. Marco was a hard case before. Now he's an impossible case, like, or unteachable, or whatever the fuck he is. He needs to get his mindsets back so people can change. With enough cortisol, it's like what they call a super fear. Because COVID is a life and death fear, a super fear. It can activate the cortisol, the adrenaline. So it pumps this stress hormone into their system. Does that make sense? So yes, they can change because there's way too much cortisol in their fucking system. Hope that makes sense. So it fucks up every mindset. If 24/7, all you're thinking about is death and whether or not you're going to survive another week. Because I have students that are older, and that's all they think about all day. Unconsciously, they're always activating their fight and flight response. The cortisol is always going on the super fear mode. Hope that makes sense. So it's hard to focus unless they can turn off the cortisol and adrenaline, which I have given them the supplements to do. Now they can focus. Plus the ADHD stuff, plus the depression stuff. Marco, I've given you a fucking supplement for depression too, to improve your performance. It's too bad it was too little, too late at time. Should I bring Marco back? If I delete access. All right. They all make excuses. This is the biggest factor for one student here. Everything is an excuse. Yes, John. So they never take extreme ownership. They're like sociopaths. They never take extreme ownership because sociopaths in their mind, they're never wrong. They can never believe they're wrong. They're delusional. They have to win at all costs, and they'll never apologize if they're proven wrong, but they'll go on the attack. And that's the problem with these people because they are never wrong, so they can never take extreme ownership for their mistakes. They'll shift the blame to me. They'll say, oh, John, like, I'm working all day, right? You know, you have a different job. Like, it's easier. Is it really easier? Do you think it's easy teaching people like this? If I have to spend 2 hours for every fucking student, like 5 of those students, that's 10 hours of me explaining over the phone, like I called the Indian student, to their dumb fucking ass. Because they're zombies, because they're stupid, full of excuses. During the day, I was kicking them out. They're just making one excuse after another. I was trying to explain to them, you know what extreme ownership means? Do girls take extreme? It doesn't matter. It's not about the girls. It's about you stop making excuses so you can start to develop your mindsets and you can start developing your skill set. You can't get the skill set unless you stop making excuses to release the handbrake so you can stop making excuses and you can finally take the right action without pulling on the handbrake. It's not for the girl. It's not for her. It's for you. This is a skill-based game, guys. I'm not joking. Other dating coaches use the word skills. This is skills. They have to go get the physical changes, and Marco took like weeks and weeks and weeks just to get that fucking thing happening. You know, it's ridiculous. He hasn't finished the mindset videos. He probably has a few more left. They're full of excuses. Oh, I'm busy. That's the ADHD zombie's excuse because I'm busy. I have a job. Well, fuck you. If I have to spend 10 hours a day to phone you motherfuckers just to be able to explain to your dumb ass, that's why I transcribed it for the book, Teaching Unteachable Cases, or the Worst Students. I don't know what it's going to be called, but you can see all the conversations as I'm kicking them out. You'll learn from their zombie mistakes. They're all full of excuses. You know, the other students, the black student was making a lot of excuses. So I forced him to watch all these mindset videos. I forced it down his fucking throat. And I say, if you don't fucking watch it, then fuck off. And he watched it and he started taking action. He did the 30-day challenge. He didn't stop it. Now he's reaping the rewards because he changed his fucking skill set, his habits. So they all make excuses. I cannot find one of the students that are the worst of all time that does not make excuses. It's like impossible not to make an excuse. The other black student with 20-something lays was making an excuse during COVID. Before he wasn't getting any results, even if he's tall and 6 foot, like 1 or something, black, he lost all his muscles, all his compliance. His mindsets are all gone. And then I call him out, you're making too many fucking excuses. What the fuck is with you? You used to be a fucking slayer, a killer, like a Navy SEAL under my training. He says, I'm sorry, John. Yes, sir. I'm going to change back to the way I was before. And then he practices social skills, flow drill, and social calibrations in the mirror before. That's how he got his lay before joining the army. John, do girls like mystery guys or something to consider? Well, you don't want them to know everything about you. By being a little bit, not 100%, but a little bit mysterious. You don't have to tell them everything on the first date. Because once they know everything about you, then they can just, I know everything about the guy. She will not see you again. So a little bit of mystery is okay. But too much mystery, she doesn't know who the fuck you are. Because she knows nothing about you. You're finding out what her painting is of her life. But you're finding out nothing about you. So therefore, she won't meet you for a day 3. So that's why I think about being mysterious. All right, let's continue. Besides the excuses, right? Okay, here's the next thing. All the changes that these zombies make are all the same. They only do things that are physical, like working out or intermittent fasting or taking supplements, or they buy from Amazon. They're allergic to fucking mindsets. You know that? They're like, but John, I started working out and I intermittent fasting, like you said. It's like, what about the mindsets? They don't even understand what the mindsets are. You explain to that fucking chink, right? No offense, but I'm just saying, you explain to that fucking chink, like, listen, asshole, you undesirable piece of shit. Your mindsets are shit, and you explain to he's just like a dog, like this. He doesn't know why he's being yelled at. The guy's not even human. He's a fucking zombie. They're all like that. They're all full of fucking mind. Like, they have excuses after excuses, but they can only do the physical things. I mean, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck what you say or what you think. I can say it, but I don't mean it in a mean way. I mean it like that's how he's like. He's really an undesirable person that really, I just couldn't think of a better word to describe him. Fobby? Maybe I call him Fobby. Piece of shit. But that's how he's like. He's just so full of excuses. He's big deal. Like, Marco can do physical things. Marco said the same thing as them. Oh, yeah, but I still working out. So if they're going to work and they're working out, it taxes their brain. It's almost like a computer game or something. And they have a computer and it maxes out their video card. I used to play video games like decades ago. So not anymore. But I used to remember that if you overload the GPU, as they call it, graphical processing unit, that all the settings go up and the computer will slow down. So if they go to work and they work out, right? If they just do that and they work out, then what happens is that they tax their fucking brain completely. So therefore, they can't really adapt. Hope that makes sense. Because for them, if they go to work, they make excuses. They can still approach and practice during work. They can still practice their social skills flow drill. They can still practice their body language. They can still practice in between on their lunch breaks, on the way home, on the way to the gym. It's just full of fucking excuses. Oh, because I'm physically doing the things you said. Well, fuck you. You know, like, oh, but John, I do everything you said physically. I work out. Big fucking deal. Work out your fucking mind, you fucking zombie piece of shit. Holy shit. Work out your fucking mind. What about your habits? Work out your fucking habits. Well, John, I haven't started Elite 30. I got to study for a test to go to the United States. When's your test? Oh, it's at the end of December. So you couldn't do the mindset thing? No, I cannot because fuck you. Get out. Cut. They know that they're going to get cut. Because I already send them screenshots of me cutting the Vietnamese students out. Two of the biggest fucking ego trippers. Doesn't change at all. One guy became a sociopath, expresses genes, starts mouthing me off, saying, oh, but I have a job. That's why. You don't have a real job. Excuse me, I have to spend 10 fucking hours a day training you motherfuckers because you wouldn't fucking listen. You get free Skypes every single day. That's why I kicked them out. Imagine 3 months of giving them 2-hour Skypes because they're too fucking dumb. But let's get into that. So all of them are all doing physical changes, intermittent fasting, supplements from Amazon, clicking a button, but they can't change their fucking habits. Next one. You're all lazy. Even if I gave you the name of the supplement that takes care of the ADHD, you're still unmotivated. All of them are unmotivated and lazy. These are what I call lazy cunt motherfuckers. When you look at the black student, you look at the Middle Eastern student, they have work ethics. They have fucking work ethics. What the fuck? They work more than the fucking Vietnamese students. These guys are working double of whatever the fuck. This Vietnamese student does like what? 10 hours a day? Or maybe like 8 hours at work. Big fucking deal. The other guys work more. You guys don't really realize how much I actually work. I don't tell these students. I work over 100-hour work weeks. Every second, I'm building either the website or I'm putting new blog posts up that people should be reading. I'm updating, the contents so I can write something for the videos like these ones. I go on here once in a while because I don't have time. I got to teach the students all day. It's a lot of work. And I have to think, I have to strategize, I have to do all this shit. It's a lot of fucking work, man. I got to build a book, right? And I have to do all this stuff. I have a lot of things to do. I'm glad I'm not video editing, even though I could pay the other Filipino guy to do it. Because video editing takes me at least 9 hours sometimes a few days just to edit a fucking 10-minute clip, to zoom it in and out. Like, if you're a dating coach, holy shit, you don't realize with all these clients that you have, how busy it is. The whole day, everyone's asking for training for elite access. And then you have to call them for 2 fucking hours because they're too fucking stupid. That's no way to live. These people are not human. They're not human. They're zombies. They think they're the only ones that I talk to in the whole day. That's their misconception. Yet there's like so many students in the fucking inner circle. There's like 28 students right now. And these are the alumni. The ones that are still here. Lots of students got laid already. They're all in there. I have to teach so many people in one day. And I have to use a lot of my brains. They don't. I have to be smart enough to get these students laid. Otherwise, I'm fucked. My business is not dependent on selling you bullshit courses that are confusing and technical. They sell you bullshit courses that are confusing and technical. So that way you take their boot camp when you're stuck. The only way I get to make money is if I get more students laid. They make a video testimonial. Then when they do that, then what happens is you guys see it. I get more students. I get more of them laid. That means I don't get to make money unless I earn it by getting you consistently laid. Then you see these motherfucking zombies who refuse to cooperate and do it my way. I could literally get them laid nonstop. The winners keep winning, the losers keep losing. It's like winner and loser mindset. So they're all lazy. That's what I'm saying. That's the next one. Next one. You are all, the zombies, are dumb as a bag of rocks. I have to explain to your dumb brain that it isn't all game. You have to keep repeating it to them. That is not all game and strategy. They're brainwashed. They're dumb. It's social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. So you don't have to talk super fast, which is fucking up the emotions. You refuse to understand. You think it's more charisma. I'm more charisma, John. I'm more flirting. Marco is like a flirting kind of guy. You know, he's Latino. He likes to flirt. Super fast talk and flirting. You are so delusional. It's really 20 out of 35. Your score. You need social skills, social calibrations, not game during the Delta variant. Only my day game courses work. As you can see, even the Middle Eastern student uses Elite Playbook, but he already mastered the habits of Elite 30. Do you see? I think you're the biggest zombie here. I'm glad you're not my student. Like, there's no thought process. This is exactly what I said. They're all dumb as a bag of rocks. So far, you understand nothing. You have no thought process. No offense, but you have no fucking thought process. You are exactly what a zombie is. I wouldn't be surprised if you're ADHD as fuck and also like autistic with cortisol and fast talking, because you know none of you got okay. So the next one, none of you have gotten past the first day or second day of Elite 30. I made changes after what you told me. Congratulations. Make some more changes, okay? I'm glad I'm having a positive effect on your life. I'm not chubby, so that's not possible. How I know you're not autistic? How I know you don't talk super fast around women? Even if you're not ADHD, you could be autistic as fuck. You could be a sociopath. Anyways, so none of you got past the first or second day of Elite 30. You know that? Marco, he's never even finished the first day. He never even practiced. He just can't be arsed with it. The Chinese student cannot, and he believes he talks normal speed. He said, I talked a lot of my fucking coworkers, John. I talk a lot of my coworkers super fast. So we play back the audio in front of the inner circle. We always critique the Vietnamese student. He talks like this. Excuse me. Look at it, please go. Zara, you know where I can find it? I was like, what? Oh, okay. So, by the way, you look like a creative artistic person. Oh, you're not. Oh, by the way, my name is... Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He never even started Elite 30. He just went out there doing that fucking numbers game, going for that 10,000 approaches. He's well on his way. He's already up to a couple thousand by now. He's probably close to like 6,000 approaches. Congratulations. Nothing happened. He just pulled his fucking coworkers. Fucking asshole. Nothing happened after that. And they're ugly as shit. So none of you got past the first or second day of Elite 30. None of you. The black students already like day 16, day 17, day 18, whatever. Already. But none of you can even be arsed with it to start. What the fuck? You can't even do the Elite 30-day challenge. Because your mindsets are fucked. None of you started because you're too lazy. You have to do it your way. And just, it's like a piece of shit that you bring out there. And you try and make it less smelly every time. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're still a piece of shit. You got no habits. No amount of fucking game or strategy is going to save you. Because you have no skills. You smell like shit. Because you are a piece of shit trying to be less shitty. But you're still a piece of shit. So they try the mass approach, doing it their way, trying to hit the 10,000 approaches. My best students have the neural pathways of Elite 30 down. It's like they can shoot a basketball in a hoop with technique, skills. You have no skills. You just throw at the hoop thinking you are enough. So you keep doing it. You're delusional and you'll get destroyed during Delta. My best students all done the Elite 30-day challenge, working on one skill at a time. So yeah, those are the 10 traits. And like I said, the old man succeeded. After he fixed that, when he no longer has his excuses. So I would say to you, get Elite Bundle and stop fucking around. I'll get you laid. You use your fucking Skypes. You do the 30-day challenge. Automatic lay. Fashion changes. Supplementation. Physical changes. You finish the fucking mindset as if somebody's pointing a gun to your fucking head. Then you do the 30-day challenge, Marco. You haven't even fucking started, Marco. Fucking lazy person, like having another fucking siesta. Do you think I'm a loser too? Yeah, I do. So that's all I want to teach you for today. Hope you guys learn a lot. Do not just aim for 10,000 approaches and expect to get laid. You have too much opinions as facts. You need to start opening up your mind more and reading more and learning new things. That's why I recommend. Because a lot of your mindset is filled with this Asian masculinity bullshit. You need to drop that shit. Because all the students that are like ABCs, former students, they're all fucked. Because they're always worried about the white man oppressing them. It's xenophobia. Because I talk about the 5 mindsets. The last one is manifestation, thoughts and feelings. So your thoughts are fucked. Do you see that? Yeah, I'll be different next week. Good. But you need to go through therapy or drop that shit. Because your belief affects, belief, thoughts, feelings, actions. Belief, thoughts, feelings, actions. Because even before, when you're contaminated with that belief system, it's going to make you angrier. And when you're angrier, right, that's going to manifest into your emotions, which is going to affect your actions. I'm glad you laughed, right? That's good. But the thing is that you have to think about the residual damage, right? Afterwards. It's just like even if a soldier has been in war and lost a limb, right? He does not forget. If you don't think it's a bad place, you should go back and gaslight yourself. It's not about insulting you. This is tough love here. This is real talk. You're always triggered. That's the problem. When I say the word chink, you don't like it. You get triggered because you have high ego, low self-esteem. It's no big deal. I'm not triggered. It doesn't even bother me. Someone says, Johnny Lee, you're a chink, right? Like, I am Chinese, but I don't get triggered. You see that? Because I got self-esteem. It doesn't hurt. I don't feel anything. They can say, oh, John, you're ugly or whatever. They can say whatever fuck they want. It doesn't bother me. Or fuck you, John. Like, they say it doesn't trigger me because I got self-esteem. When you have high self-esteem, you have lower ego. For you, because it triggers you, you have lower self-esteem and higher ego. I have the other way. Get it? So that's what you need to work on, dressing better so you can get self-esteem. If you want to go back to the forum groups, you can. And fuck up your mind further because you don't think they're bad. The problem with ABCs, right? Well, think about it this way. The other dating coach, ABCs of low self-esteem, they're brainwashing you to make you feel like you are enough. That's how they extract money. Same with RSD. For RSD to extract money from you, they cannot offend you. You see that? They all know you're zombies who gets offended. So they make sure they talk to you like you're stupid, like children. They're like, oh yeah, I don't want to offend you, but here's my opinion. Get this, right? Well, they talk to you like you're stupid. I talk to you guys like you're smart adults. Even if I call you zombies, I'm still talking to you like an equal. So if they're not trying to offend you, they're trying to market to you. The problem with your forum group is they're all fucking snowflakes, these Asians. They don't like to be offended. So you got to raise the self-esteem. I would say right now, do a lot of affirmations that you are a worthy person. Start dressing a little bit better. See, when my students dress better, even at home, right? Their self-esteem goes up and their ego goes down a little bit. So they can finally be more clear in their thinking. You actually feel a lot better when you dress like this. It's not to show off, but it is very helpful to your self-esteem. So you shouldn't dress like shit at home. So for the Indian student, he kept dressing bad. He kept dressing bad. And it keeps like making him more delusional, lower his self-esteem. So you want to dress better and you want to get good at some things. Maybe find a hobby or something that you can find some skill in. Because if you're too much of a zombie, you'll suck at everything, right? And also yes, you need to make the physical changes, but you need to find something that you're very good at. Because you need to develop the self-esteem. You understand that? For me, I was in Krav Maga for 5 years. I did a lot of martial arts. I was pretty good at that. So that's the one way to raise the self-esteem. You can find something that you enjoy doing, whether it's cooking. Find a hobby that you can be good at and improve on. Then you start to feel like you are competent. The more competent you are, the better your self-esteem gets. You see that? It's important to find something that you can be good at. Then you can use that and try to find another thing to be good at. As you continue to raise your self-esteem, you can even start to do affirmations saying that you are enough. Not you're enough, but you are like worthy. You can listen to subliminal messages all day on YouTube to tell yourself that you got more self-esteem. But the problem with that is that my students that are zombies start listening to it. For 1 week, they're able to see their own mistakes, their fast speech in their talk, in their infield. But then afterwards, the low self-esteem takes over. You should see my video called about self-esteem. I have an old video. Can you look it up? Look up Johnny Lee in self-esteem or something. You'll find a video where there's an arrow pointing up and down. It'll talk about this inner voice that you have that always tells you things. It always tells you bullshit. For example, it always tells you it'll make you delusional. Don't listen to John. That's what it'll tell you. Do it your way. You know better, right? Keep doing it your way. And it always blows up in their face. Oh, come on. Don't take action. There's too much work. That's a very negative voice. You want to get rid of that. You want to challenge it. So when it starts talking, this lower self voice, oh yeah, don't listen to John, right? Go back to the floor. You have to say to the voice, shut the fuck up. Like that. The voice will be, huh? You see that? The voice will be, huh? The voice will shut the fuck up for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, it'll come and attack you again. You can write it down on a notepad. All the messages that it tells you. The zombie voice. They all have it. Low self-esteem. I don't hear that voice of low self-esteem. It does not exist in my mind. For me, it's just always go forward. Keep going. There is no like lower self-gear. Hope that makes sense. That's hard to do. You got to challenge it. Where does the voice come from? It's one of your parents. For you, I think it might be the father. You have like a tiger parent. I think it's the father. Right? So when your dad mentally abuses you for a long time, right? In a bad way, he can create what they call a secondary sociopath. So you may have the genes, but enough mental abuse, right? Or physical abuse, you'll snap. So you need to challenge that voice. So every time you have to say, shut the fuck up, like that. Every time you hear this Asian masculinity voice in the forum group, you know what? It's all the media's fault, right? Blah, blah, blah. Start blaming like the media, right? Don't take response. Shut the fuck up, huh? Now you got 20 minutes of freedom. Now you can start making changes, saying, you know what? I won't listen to that. I'm going to make some changes in my life. Maybe I can dress a little bit more whitewash. Maybe they're not racist. After 20 minutes, it comes back and attacks you. But I still live with my parents, John. See, you got to move out. Because your Asian parents, you are the sum of the 5 people you're closest to. So if you have me talking to you right here, right? You have new ideas. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Don't hang around with losers. That's why I cut them out of the elite access. It fucks up my vibe. I'm much happier now without them. Way happier. So you might have a few loser friends too, right? And it was a forum group. So you might know a bunch of Asians that have a very weird mindset that it's all white people's fault. Maybe it's time to start cutting them out and start making some good friends with social skills. Because losers make more losers. That's correct. But it's hard. You can ignore your family if they're negative. You can distance yourself. Go out more. Start socializing. Maybe get Elite 30 or something. And start learning some social skills so you can start communicating with people. Even if you're not actively doing it for Daygame, you can still make some more friends. A new social circle. And if you have nothing but loser friends, it's better not to have any friends. So that way, at least you can start reading, right? New ideas and books. Go to bestbookbits.com. Read book summaries that can help you with your life. You figure if you are stuck with time management, right? You can read 10 books, time management, in a short amount of time from the summaries. 10 different books, right? You see that? Then you have new ideas. They can become that new 5 people in your life. Does that make sense? Some of these people already died, but you still got their thought process. I think that's important because all the words you read from that forum group has gaslighted your mind. So if you start having new thoughts, just pick the biggest problems you have in your life and go to those summary kind of sites. Find as many books as possible. They break it down to like a 10-minute summary. If you read 10 books of those 10 summaries and you play at twice the speed, you start to see patterns. You see it? Of how to fix it. If you got a time management problem, then work on that. If you got a problem with, maybe self-esteem, find 10 self-esteem books, the 10 best ones. Because they're narcissistic control grid. Because your parents are Asians. They don't want you moving out because they want you to take care of them when they retire. You are the first generation of Chinese American. So therefore, your parents are so what they call overbearing. What your parents doing is they're overbearing. They believe that if they completely make you helpless, you can become codependent. Does that make sense? When you're codependent, you cannot leave. It's a narcissistic control grid. They don't treat you like a human. Well, is your parents going to get you laid? No. Your parents dress like shit. It's a generational thing. Why would you listen to your parents? They're losers. Right? Why would you listen to them? If you listen to them and they're poor and they dress like shit, the first 7 years of your life, you absorb everything unconditionally. You cannot help it. So if your parents beat you for 7 years, you'd be no fucking self-esteem and you'd be fucked up. Does that make sense? So whatever they taught you loser mindsets. So that's why it's so hard to change these mindsets. If they're poor and they have a poor mentality, you'll grow up poor. If they dress like shit, and they do, both of them, I bet. My mother dresses well. My father dresses like shit. But I haven't seen my family in a long time. I cut them out a long time ago. It's been years during this pandemic. I don't even bother talking with them. I fucking hate them. You gotta learn how to cut people out of your life that are toxic. Because they're, the 5 people you're closest to. If they're toxic people, then get all of, that's hard to do. But some of my students that are Indian, they have very abusive parents. That's why when I tell them to get a job, they're saving up to move out. They're trying to sneak out of the house and never coming back. You're right, I am. Maybe it's time to get rid of these, not just the forum group, but if your parents are not helpful, you can keep a distance from them in the future. Move to your own place. Get some roommates. Right? They want you to study because they want you to be good at school. Yeah, Indian parents are abusive as fuck. A lot of my students, right, that are Indian, gets beaten to a bloody pulp, yelled at, and mentally abused all day. They're not human. No offense, but a lot of the Indian students' parents are fucking crazy benchodes. They're they're fucking benchode motherfuckers. They're completely crazy. So it's a narcissistic control grid, the same as the Asians. They're both kind of psycho in the genetics department. So a lot of my Indian students have been beaten badly. So why are parents like this? Well, a lot of the Chinese parents and Indian parents, they have this gene, right? Like a sociopath gene or a psychopath gene. And they're narcissistic, controlling, sadistic people. So they call it dark tetrad. So you can make whatever sorry. You can make up whatever theories you want about confidence and inner game. But I say confidence comes from competence. RSD has a strong inner game, don't they? So the people are confident when they're spam approaching, doing their 10,000 approaches, getting no results. Am I right? 10,000 approaches, all confidence. Because you are enough, according to RSD. But you don't get any results for a lot of you. Only 1% of you got results. So how the fuck is this confidence, inner game shit supposed to be fucking helping you? That's why I teach mindsets. Don't dark tetrad traits get you girls? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So it depends on the SMV of the person. If they're dark triad or dark tetrad and they have high SMV, it's very helpful to be delusional, ADHD as fuck, and completely like a psycho-looking person because it excites women. But however, if you have the same fucking zombie traits and you have low SMV, like some of these 5 students I kicked out of Elite Access, you do 10,000 approaches. It's not enough. So yes, while the dark triad or dark tetrad traits can be helpful, if your SMV is not high, it can be a downward spiral. So it's upward or downward spiral. Hope that makes sense. And weak confidence means weak charisma. Oh my God, you're the fucking guy. You're probably that student. Hey, John, how's it going? This is probably you, Ron. You're probably like the Chinese fucking chink guy, right? That's really you. You're just secretly using a different name. What the fuck does charisma mean? Like RSD stuff. Like, here's Todd Valentine, charisma, 3 late testimonials. You guys see it? You guys will not let go of this 10,000 approaches with confidence and charisma. Yet my students don't have to be the most confident or charisma, yet they're getting laid nonstop. Charisma King does not have any late testimonials for Daygame. But you don't want to listen to this. You're gaslighted. You're brainwashed. You're so delusional. That's why you're a zombie, Ron 910. You're actually the Chinese student, I bet. He loves to talk about charisma, like chink charisma. Hey, how's it going? Oh, by the way, high five for that. I'm flirting with you. Oh. Fuck, I mean, that guy is just such a pussy dryer. Such a fucking zombie. Charisma is it is overrated. If charisma was everything, then RSD victims would be laid nonstop. Because they're taking massive action with inner game. Doesn't work. Maybe outer game. Elite 30 makes you competent. When you're competent, then you have a real core confidence. What you're experiencing with charisma is called ego. Sociopaths are charismatic. That's what they say, the 10 traits of sociopaths. Charisma is what dating coaches uses. You should not have a false sense of confidence when you have no fucking skills in Daygame. My students are getting laid nonstop. You're not. To the Chinese student. Hey, John, go do your fucking 10,000 approaches and prove me wrong, motherfucker. You can't. You can't. You lose. Anyways, I gotta get going. Maybe I'll be here the next time a student gets late again, which is going to be very quickly. All my YouTube lives should not be about students late because you guys will get used to it. Do not get used to it. This is not normal. Your favorite dating coaches that you worship. And Ron, if you are that Chinese student, you worship Queefin Casanova. Oh, no, go suck his dick. 7 late testimonials. Verbals, right? It's like you're a fucking zombie. Autistic, ADHD. All this is ADHD shit here. Except mine went 34 late testimonials, Asians, 490 right now. This black student, his 2 lays, only counts as 1 testimonial. Now I have to write another fucking blog post detailing about it while you all just sort of dismiss it as if this is not a fucking miracle happening over and over. I told you, physical changes hairstyle, fashion, mindset changes, and the fucking habits, not tactics, habits. Not tactics, habits. Who is your student that you were talking about? There's like a Chinese student that's just, he says something about charisma. When I was about to kick him out, he was like, "Oh, but John, you need charisma, right?" I was like, "What? If I got more charisma, then I'll get laid nonstop." I was about to kick him out, and it's just like, "What? You need more skill." Yeah, skill and charisma. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And so I didn't know how to explain it to him. Just tell them that, do they want grandchildren one day? And they say yes, right? And they say, does it matter what the woman is, what her race is? If it matters to you, then it's not your choice, because Asian women are not into white, like not into Asian men anymore. 51% will marry a different race. So you're not having a big choice. You should aim for all the ethnicities. So you ask them, you want grandchildren? Then shut the fuck up. No, you're asking about the black student in your title. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about him. Okay, so for the black student, okay, I'll show you his screenshots. He just got laid twice in a row today. Seriously. You're like, what? 2 fucking lays in a row? So his first lay's over here. Don't worry, censor, so I cannot get in trouble on YouTube. You're like, what the fuck? 2 lays in one day? So this debunks the 10% women coming out from the text game thing. So where's his second lay? It's right over here. I have to video everything. 2 in a row. So the video, he's fingering her. So I have to figure out how to censor that properly. And maybe I'll put it in my blog instead of like on YouTube. Or maybe I can show screenshots of it. Find a way to censor it. But they send me the stuff like that. I have to censor it. So if a student got 2 lays in a row, he was making excuses before, his mindset changed, and he finally let go. And he did a 30-day challenge of Elite 30. Lays nonstop. And he wasn't getting any results before. During COVID, he was doing his 10,000 approaches. Nothing is happening. So yeah, he was before a bad student, turned into a good one because his mindset changed. I made him watch the playlist of mindsets. So what's the playlist of mindsets? Let's go to my YouTube channel. Okay. So here's the playlist, and it's called Unlocking Mindsets, No Excuses. Over here, all my students, Marco can barely fucking finish it because he's too lazy. Same with the 5 fucking zombies I kicked out. But there's 15 videos here. I cannot tell you what they are, but some of them are mine, but some of them are other categories. Once they watch all 15 videos, right, something happens in their brain. Something switches. They no longer have any excuses. They go forward. They finish the fight. No handbrakes. They only take action. They cannot help it. They become teachable again. Get it? They become coachable. Everything I say finally clicks. The lay, instead of being pushed forward like a time machine, right? Or instead of sinking and drowning in the COVID-19 ocean, the lay gets compressed. It gets pushed back. So even for the 52-year-old man, at 2020, when he was resisting, his mindset was 7 out of 50. 10 for each of them. In 2021, his mindset was closer to like 37 out of 50. 2 lays. This student was always like 0, 0, 0, 0. And then once he fixed the mindset, it boosts it up. Becomes teachable, changeable, skill-based. The belief goes up. The thoughts and feelings change. That's why it's so important for manifestation, right? For the mindsets, to have new thoughts. So for the students, when this clicks, something really clicks in here. I don't know what clicks in here, but they realize something. Making excuses doesn't help. They always have the same mindsets. All the highest performance people. Hard work, no excuses. Just fucking do it. Building up skills. It's the same fucking theme over and over. Take more action. Be calibrated. Make no excuses. Same fucking thing. So RSD mindsets are not good mindsets. It's just a VR goggle of you pretending that you are, running forward and winning. It's like a casino. Just play more chips. But in reality, what you're really doing underneath the VR is that you're jumping out the fucking window and you don't know it. Splat. Splat. They don't tell you. But that's what they want you to do. RSD mindsets are designed to make you spam approach, to do that 10,000 to bad habits. Excellence is a habit, guys. That's all I gotta say. This video is too long. If I make it too long, people will not listen to it. But I'm looking for more students recently with good mindsets. Anyone who joins Elite Access in the future will have to go through a test. I want to see how fast do you learn to stop. Second of all, see if you can go through the mindsets, the playlist, before you're allowed to join, because no ADHD fucks. So confident guys who aren't confident are even more likely. Yes, way more. The guys with the social skills get her talking more to get more trust, right? They can bring her to Insta dates. They can pull her home and fuck her much faster. There are some students who are very timid, but they're unstoppable. So as long as they have grit, they have social skills, social calibrations, indicators of social skills, indicators of body language or social calibrations, slowing down their speech, emotional control. That's 7.5 out of 10. Game is only worth 2.5 points. Tactics doesn't even work for the short Indian guy from self-proclaimed high lay count guy. And a lot of his classmates at the time, a small group of them, most of them got no results. This is not slander. This is not libel. This is the truth. He's a witness to it. And I'm glad he has his policy, right? For a refund policy for this month. So all the ethnics could get that afterwards. Because all their testimonials, or most, are white. A few ethnics. So now they cover the screen because they don't want you to confirm that. It's all white, man. It's white, white, white. Tinder white. Tinder does not count as lay counts. Tinder does not count as testimonials. And you cannot say code approach equals day game and night game because night game does not have social skills. None. So it's not the same thing. Code approach, it's not even code approach in the fucking nightclub. You're in the nightclub where the women are down to fuck. Same with Tinder. Day game, they're not down to fuck. Charm means that more than confident. Even if confident. You see that? You're that fucking chink, aren't you? Carl, John, I want confidence. Yeah, give it a try, asshole. Go out there, do 10,000 approaches with your charm and confidence. Let's see how far you get. You couldn't even fucking pull. You couldn't even get Insta date. Only once. The best you can do is to kiss a woman in a fucking grocery store. Being a creepy fucking asshole. All the other women flaked on you. You're the only person that copy and paste my text where the woman will not come out. Black student, copy paste my text, automatic lays. It's not cheating. It's not. I mean, is that working for you? So keep doing your 10,000 approaches. Do your fucking 10,000 approaches. You already done like fucking 2,000, right? You just got to do another 8,000. You won't even get a single lay during Delta. 0. Prove me wrong. My students can get laid just by going out there now. One shot, one kill now. Charm is important, you know it. Prove me wrong. Go ahead and document your charm. Go ahead. Contact me. Start setting up a YouTube channel. Record all your infields. Show me your charm in 10,000 approaches. If you don't get laid, right, then you know that I'm right. I'm right about this. It grows with every approach, right? Are you sure you're a fucking idiot? This is a zombie right here. This guy is a zombie. He is delusional, stupid. You can't explain it to him. You see that? This is what I dealt with before I kicked out the students. When you explain to them, they don't get it. They're stupid. So you saying social skills, social calibrations is not important. It's just more charm, right? What the fuck? Which category? Emotions is charm? What? One fucking point? 1 point? So you gotta ignore game, social skills, social calibrations for charm when you're talking fast like a fucking cortisol fuck? So what's your score out of 10? With your charm, 0.5 out of 10? You fucking idiot. Charm alone's meaningless. Yeah, what the fuck? You're a fast talking piece. If you're a fast talking piece of shit being charming, like I said, prove me wrong. I would steal your students. You won't steal anything. The only thing you'll waste is your fucking time. Get out of here, Ron. Fuck off. You know, this is stupid. I don't feel like listening to more of this zombie bullshit. I'm going to end the video now. Ron, I think you're a fucking idiot. I really do. I mean, these white dating coaches with their fucking Poe infields. No, I don't think Justin is my student. I don't know who he is. I do have a student named Justin, but I don't think this is the same guy. I did kick out one student called Justin, but I don't think that's him. Because that guy's not so fucked up. He does not go to these forum groups anymore. Now, this is stupid. I'm just going to stop the video. See you next video. I'm not sure when. Just been busy too much. But do not have these zombie traits. Let's alliterate again. Should we go through it again? 10 zombie traits. You're all chubby. Almost like, you know, ADHD fucks. You're all ADHD, no joke. The bad students during Delta or ADHD. Shit mindsets. You all have this delusional belief if you make 10,000 approaches, you'll automatically get laid. We're charming. Oh, yeah, good luck. You all talk super fast due to cortisol, adrenaline, all of you cannot control it. Can't hook a set. Next, you add your own extra step. Charm. You see that? This guy has all the zombie traits. None of you did it my way. You just got need more charm. You need more charisma. More charisma. You make excuses. This is the biggest factor. All your changes are physical, like working out, intermittent fasting, taking supplements. Shit mindsets. You're all lazy. If I gave you the name of the supplement, you're still unmotivated. Yeah. You're all dumb like a bag of rocks, exactly like this guy. Charisma, charm, overall. I have to explain to your dumb brain it isn't all game. It's social skills and social calibrations, emotional control. So you don't talk super fast. You refuse to understand. You think it's more charisma and more flirting, and you are so delusional. It's actually 20 out of 35 total. You need like social skills, social calibrations, not game during Delta. Only my Daygame courses works, which is Elite 30, is skills. And also, none of you got past the first or second day of Elite 30. You just mass approach, try and do it your way. Hitting the 10,000 approaches to LA. My best students have Elite 30 neural pathways. Is Ron a previous? I don't think so. I don't know who this Ron guy is. But he sounds a lot like another Chinese student. So, one of the Chinese students I kicked out, right? Always talks about charisma. I'm not sure why he's talking about charisma. I think they're delusional. Who the fuck gaslighted you into thinking it's charisma? Never mind. I'm going to hang up this fucking call. This is stupid. Like,